Hello, everybody. I am Dale Luganville. This is the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast. It is July here in Minnesota, and so we are in the summer fishing patterns pretty much across the state. Spawning should all be wrapped up, even in the, by bass, I'm talking, even in the northern lakes. I was up there a couple weekends ago, and it was full-on spawn, so I fully expect them to be done. Bluegills, I'm sure, are still spawning in certain spots, but now's the time where the walleyes are going to start moving out deep. The smallmouth are probably going to start moving out deep into a lot of these different bodies of water. And sometimes largemouth, depending on the lake, they'll move out deep as well. But don't forget about the slop. There always is some bass in shallow, in the thick, nasty stuff. But yeah, we are, it's summertime, hot, humid, raining, thunderstorms. I love it. Everything's lush and green. And of course, my mind wanders to hunting because why wouldn't it? It's only a couple months away. Can you believe that? It's only like 2 months away. See, we're in July. September 1st. Bear opens and early goose and dove. A couple more weeks after that, you got archery opener here in Minnesota, and holy smokes, and it's wide open. There we are again. So that's why you're like, dude, really? Like my mind is always like a couple seasons ahead. It seems like I'll just get into early goose hunting, snow goose or Canada goose. See, there my brain's going there already, and we'll still be just the beginning part of the fall waterfall season, and my mind will just skip right to spring snows. I'm always like a season ahead. It's crazy, but anyways, if you're the same, if you're a waterfaller and you're just trudging through this summer, just waiting, and you're counting the days already, well, you're in luck. On today's episode, have couple guys that have already been on the podcast before, both very popular for the show. I had a lot of downloads, so I expect this one to be is equally good because I have them both on. So I have Joe Heintz and Nick A. Johnson on together, and we talk about some crazy shit because they're sharing some stories. And after spending a night partying with them, going off the stories they shared on the podcast, I wonder what stories they're not sharing for legal and or personal purposes. But no, both great dudes, man. I mean, they really are. They're great dudes. We had a good time partying and drinking beer, and we recorded at the Bobbing Bobber Brewery there in Hutchinson, Minnesota. It wasn't technically a flight companion, but we kind of did sample some different beers. Might have to go back out there and do an actual flight companion. I did talk to the owner there, and we might have to set something up. When the brewmaster is available to sit down and kind of do what we did with there at Bigwood. But this wasn't a flight companion. This was a regular old podcast, but it was a good one, crazy one. So if you're looking to get your waterfowl itch, this is the one for you. Before we dive into it, this is a good time. So if you're going to download this episode, you're going to listen to it, and you listen to it in its entirety, do me a big favor. Give it a like, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. I got some freeloaders out there. I'm getting good downloads now. I'm getting really good feedback, and I appreciate all the positive feedback that we're getting throughout the show. It's really awesome, man. You guys actually are fantastic, those of you that have taken the time to send me a message and leave me a good thing. But go on there, leave a review, leave a 5-star rating, and then share it with all your anybody else you think might be interested in a nice, good, sporting, outdoors podcast. So without any further ado, let's do it. This is the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast with Joe Heintz and Nick A. Johnson.
Oh, here we go, boys.
Go.
Ooh, I love that sound. This is a good one. Bobbing Bobber Brewing Company in the great city of Hutchinson, Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
It's a
My
perfect
hometown.
name for a podcast location for the Full Scale Outdoors.
That's what I'm
I gotta
saying.
say. Although none of you boys fish,
Nope.
as I'm here with Joe Heintz and Nick J.
Nick J. Johnson.
Again.
Whee!
This is kind of a
Thank you guys for saving me.
yeah. Nick broke down on the way here. We'll meet at 4 o'clock. Nick says, I'll be there at 4:20. Of course, Nick J. will be there at 4:20.
Yeah. Everywhere he goes, he arrives at 4:20. He leaves at 4:20.
Yep.
He's halfway there at 4:20, and then he
Yep.
arrives at 4:20. It's weird.
Then my car broke down.
His car broke down.
And then
now
he
it's
he
5.
forgot his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it was just a mess.
Always.
But we're here now.
Those are tasters, not shot glasses. There, Joe. Just
I'm already a full beer deep.
I know you're
Yeah,
pretty
you
close,
are. Been getting
3/4.
after it.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't an official flight companion, but kind of is. I had it at something called the Fishy Fishy. Hefeweizen infused with apricot. My wife would like this. It's very fruity, very easy to drink.
I got some beer with like a coffee in it.
Good for a hot ass day like today.
5 o'clock
9
shadow.
degrees outside.
And then the
That's
raspberry
probably pretty good.
beekeeper.
I saw that raspberry. That's another kind
I
of
got the,
food drink. But when it's hot, I don't want
panfish.
something hot. I don't want. Yeah, Pilsner, that'll work. I don't want heavy beer when it's hot.
Me neither. That's why I went with Pilsner.
You always get a Pilsner. Everywhere we
call.
go.
Pilsner or a lager.
Well, on the way here from rescuing, you said you're not an IPA person, so we
No.
kind of bailed on the whole
I get
flight
one-
companion.
I get 1 diarrhea per IPA I drink.
All right.
And I'm pretty sure everybody else does too.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretending that they don't.
Right. Should
Can't
call one.
say that I do.
What?
Can I get the IPA diarrhea number
Yeah,
12,
yeah.
please? There's levels to it.
For real. Three IPAs the next day. 3 diarrheas.
Done, dude.
Wow. Well,
Done.
it's a colon cleanse.
I guess. Yeah, and I'm not
Look
interested.
on the bright side. You know, you're a healthy eating individual. You're in the gym all the time. I see in your Snap stories.
Yeah, true.
You're all swole.
Your Snap stories. You got Snapchat, Nick? What is it?
I'll add me. It's njohnson2367.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I'm Mr. Heintz, MrHeintz. Add me. Best snaps in the world, dudes.
They are actually pretty entertaining. You are
Hell
kind of
yeah.
a clown on there.
Right.
I like
you
it.
see how good we did mushroom season?
Yeah, I actually kind of hate you for it a little bit.
God,
'cause,
dude,
you
that
know,
one woods,
That's
we
kind of
went
my
there.
arena, and you like
Right.
literally embarrassed me every day. I'm like, God
Oh,
damn it! And
God.
there'd be the day I was gonna take off and not do it, and then all of a sudden you'd pop up on the Snap, and you'd be like, ooh, and there's one, and there's one. And I'm like, well, now I gotta leave the house.
Dude, we'd
This
walk
is
up the
bullshit.
trees and find like 80 of them under each tree. It was just
Dude, you had a
nuts.
crazy season.
We
on
went to
road
the
this
same
year.
woods 3 times in a row, and we probably pulled like 80 plus
Those,
pounds
that had to
out
be
of there.
private property, right?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't fuck around with anything else.
Well, I mean, but there's just no way because anywhere, especially anywhere near the cities, like they just
oh yeah,
get
it'll get picked.
piss pounded.
Yep.
You can just see the matted path
Yeah, of course.
and then
around
a ring
every dead
around
tree.
the tree.
Yep.
That people just, but I can still go in there and you'll still find ones that they missed. I mean,
Right.
people are pretty lazy and everything. The half-ass mushroom hunting, like the half-ass fishing or half-ass hunting or whatever. You know, the masses, they're just not good at it.
Right. Yeah,
You
no,
know,
they're not.
I mean, you go in there and take your time and I always check the trees, even if it looks like it got raped, because they always miss some. Seems like they always
Right.
miss some.
Right.
But I don't know.
Actually, on the way here, Phil Schmidt called me.
No
Nick,
shit.
Nick J. That's actually how me and Nick met. Was through our buddy Nick J. Or through our buddy Phil Schmidt. He owned Goosebusters Guide Service, and me and Nick actually hunted together. That was like 15 years ago, dude.
Right.
Long time ago.
On an ice hunt.
Yeah, on an ice hunt. Phil called my buddy, and my buddy called me and was like, hey, let's go hunt with Goosebusters. I was like, okay. So we went out there, and Nick was his guide. So me and him, like, met each other before, like, we actually
Yeah, we
made this
crushed.
friendship.
We crushed a limit, started calling everybody we knew in Hutch.
Yeah, and then the storm hit, and we didn't see another
We
bird.
didn't, yeah,
Where-
Joe got
so
out
what
there. We
was
didn't
the-
kill another bird.
Set the stage. It was an ice hunt, so like frozen lake or something, or
Frozen little pasture pond.
Frozen pasture pond with
pond.
traffic rolling over it.
Yeah.
So we had like 4 or 5 clients that morning,
Yep.
and we just crushed them instantly. A limit, and then got on the cell phones like, we're not picking this up. Call everybody you know in
That's
Hutch.
awesome.
And we were hunting a field. Me and a buddy were hunting a field to the south of it, and every 30 pack that would hit those trees would suck straight down, and then like 10 of them would come back out of the trees like what is going on? And I remember driving by it, and I was like, oh, I'm sure this spread's going to look stupid. And it was gorgeous. There's Bigfoots all over the road, all over the little gravel road.
Tons of
like,
sleeper shells on the ice.
Tons of sleepers on the ice, and their hide was just insane. I was like, who is this? And then I got up to the truck. It said Goose Busters. I was like, oh, it's that Phil guy.
My buddies Joel and Austin, we did an ice hunt this year on Centerville. And we shot some
on
geese.
Centerville Lake?
On Centerville Lake.
Where's
hunted
that?
on the ice?
Yeah.
On Centerville?
Where's that at?
It's in the cities. I've hunted
Oh,
Centerville
Yeah,
before.
it's just
Really?
north
for
of the
migrators.
cities. Yeah.
It's really close to where I do most of my migrator hunting in that pond.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Sick.
crazy. So we set out a pretty good spread, lots of sleepers. Both Joel and Austin get hard-ons for sleeper shells.
Fuck, I love sleeping.
And
That'd
then,
be cool.
and then
I'm
of
doing that
course,
this year.
And the ice was definitely thick. It was a good 3-4 inches ice. I mean, it was actually kind of early ice, you will. I was surprised to see that much ice out there. We weren't even sure if we were going to be able to get to the spot that we wanted to get to, but we were able to walk straight to it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I mean,
That would be sick.
Austin also had some tip-ups in his truck, so we drilled some holes. And we had tip-ups on the edge of the spread. We ended up killing some, and we would have killed more. More were coming. We set up on the wrong side of the point. That they birds. I mean, the wind was fine where we're at, but they wanted to be on the other side for some reason. So they kind of came in. They saw decoys, but wanted to be over here, and then they got kind of all mixed up, and we, pulled up, killed what we could. And then there was more coming, but then the ice fishermen started coming out. We're like, all right. And
Did you catch any fish?
I think we did get a couple flags. I don't remember if we actually caught a
that'd
northern or not.
That'd be cool.
We might.
That'd be cool to have both of them like pile of geese
know.
as everybody's holding up the fish.
We did I
yeah.
think we
Sweet.
did a snap story somewhere like, and we're hunting, and we're fishing.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. No, that's literally a cast and blast. Well, actually, it's not because you're not casting, but
No, you're
Well, yeah,
dropping
I
the
worked
mission.
for, like Joe was saying, I worked for Phil Schmidt for like 6 years. From the time I was 16 till about 22, I was guiding with Goose Busters.
Yep.
And then when I kind of left out of there, Joe took my place for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then Phil eventually sold Goose Busters to Trevor Ludke.
Yeah.
And then Trevor Ludke and Joe teamed up and
Yep.
made it something called Legends Outfitters.
Yep.
So now Joe and Trevor's hunts are called Legends Outfitters, and it's
Mhm.
kind of the
And
backstory of like how all these Minnesota goose hunters kind of came together.
Yeah. How it
And then
happened.
later on, Joe and I met each other at some calling contests. And didn't Phil say, like, I think Nick might be a better goose caller than you are?
Yeah, no, I don't remember us meeting at that calling contest, but I had a field north of town and Phil couldn't go. So, and I had like 4 clients. So and he's like, well, call Nick because I think Nick wants to hunt. I'm like, okay, I'll call this Nick Johnson guy. So I called Nick, and even Phil goes, I think he's a better goose caller than you are. I was like, yeah, right, dude. So Nick ends up meeting me that morning. I think we killed like a couple. That dad was trying to fit like this 7-year-old kid in the blind with him, and the doors wouldn't shut, and they could
Oh my
see it.
gosh.
It was horrible. But then Nick's like, yeah, I met you at the Mankato calling contest. You took 3rd and I took 4th. I called Phil right away, like, he's not a better goose caller than me, dude. But yeah.
have you beat him?
No,
since?
no, I've
keep
never
hitting
beat
this
Joe
thing.
in a goose calling
Oh, well,
contest.
see, there you go.
No, Nick's the duck guy.
Yeah, I do the duck calling contest.
Nick's the
and
duck calling champ. I'm the goose calling champ.
Joe? Do you duck call? I mean,
Yeah, I duck call.
a competition.
I've won 2-mans. I've never won like a single
How does
man
that
meet
work?
or anything.
2-man contest, it's pretty much like how well you guys can play together
Yeah,
and
don't
sound
step on
like
each other.
real,
Okay.
real
Yeah.
ducks, like
All right.
real ducks, like Main Street calling, which is what I'm kind of my specialty, like world
Yeah.
championship style. That's like race cars, you're taking a tool and using it to the extreme.
Yeah, you're taking a call and pushing it to its
so
limit.
you're doing these
basically.
like screaming loud hail calls, and they don't sound like ducks at all.
No.
And when you get down to like 2-mans, like what Joe's really good at, that's all real live sounding calls. Like
Okay.
you don't do any screaming hail calls.
Yep.
You don't do any rolling feed calls. Like a rolling feed call is when you just go super machine gun fast, just tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, like that. So you keep everything real with that. So Joe
Right.
and I met through doing some calling contests, and then over the next like 4 or 5 years, we became huge traveling buddies,
Yep.
guiding buddies,
Yep.
and somebody like me, somebody like Joe, you need somebody you can call and say, hey, do you want to go to Kansas in 48 minutes from now? And
Yeah.
they say yes. I'm
And
stopping.
I'm always
what
like, yes.
yeah,
I'll be there.
I'm
Yeah.
punching out of work
Season's
now.
done in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Let's get down there. And when me and Nick, we actually did do that. We packed your truck full of like,
Yeah, we did 56
You called me one time, like,
decoys.
dude, tomorrow let's go to Kansas. This part in Kansas I heard is loaded. Or you were coming back from a contest,
And I
you're
saw a
like,
bunch of
dude, the
birds.
river's thousands of them down there, and they're going to every field. Let's get out there. I was like, okay. So we packed your truck full, like, I don't know, like,
56 decoys.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to
FFP
pay
lessers.
like we didn't have
Yeah.
to pay for trailer gas.
yeah, it was just the bed of a truck. And then us, and we went down there, and people were like, "Oh, you're not going to get on any land down there." And I was like, "Yeah, right, dude." First place, we found probably like 600 geese in this little field. Went up to the guy's door, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." Okay, cool. And we smoked them out there. We lit it out. Yeah, it
we
was awesome.
did awesome. Like just a little trip, and then we got some barbecue in Kansas City.
Yeah, we
I
should.
googled best
Was
barbecue.
it at a gas
place.
station?
No.
No.
I googled best
Real
barbecue
fancy
restaurant.
restaurant.
Best barbecue restaurant, Kansas City. I was like, all right, well, start Google Maps.
Right.
This is like 2011 or some shit, and we walk up in there, and it's like black jacket type affair of
Ooh.
barbecue.
And
I'm like, what
we
the
look like
hell?
Phil Robinson with duck.
Yeah,
like,
we literally had
face masks
paint.
on. Yeah,
We
face
came
paint.
from the hunt.
Blood everywhere, camo on. We just
Like,
sat at the bar like,
Well,
"What's
we
up?"
said-
That's awesome.
Some gay bartender, and we gave him all our, like 3 geese too.
Was he gay?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But dude, I do remember we left the geese on his car, didn't we?
Yes.
He actually wanted them?
And we
Yeah.
showed him how to clean them,
crazy.
Yeah.
like how to bring them home, like what do
yeah,
you,
I remember
where all
Nick
the
doing
meat
that
is.
as I'm writing out my like Joe Heintz gift. This gay
Oh,
dude
yeah. Yeah, this gay dude.
wrote Nick's number on the bottom.
Thank you, by the way.
For a real goose call.
Yeah, right. But yeah, me and Nick, we got a lot of luck doing
Dude, you
that
guys goose
shit,
the gay
man.
guy.
Yeah,
Just
We
saying.
used a gay guy.
we could word that better, but yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it. No, and then there's another time we were like, "Hey, dude, Illinois got a bunch of geese," and my buddy Turkey Man, our buddy Turkey Man, is from Pekin, Illinois, and he called his buddy, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a lot of geese down here," but I mean, you can't really go off that because he's like, "Yeah, I see some geese."
Exactly.
So we're like, screw it, dude, let's go down there. So we did it again, and people were like, "Oh, good luck getting any land around Pekin. It's all locked up." We found a field with like 1,000 geese in it. Right next to it, just a tiny little like 10-acre field. I mean, that's not tiny. It's big enough, right?
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'll just go ask that guy. Go up and ask, like, "Hey, from Minnesota, doing here?" "Yeah, go ahead." Like, sweet, here we go. We went out there and smoked them out there too.
That's awesome.
For several days, that was when you got your band, just that year, banned horseshoe up your ass.
Yeah, dude, I've been.
You got a
doing
band
good.
in Illinois with me that year.
Yep.
You got a band in Nebraska with me that
Yep.
year.
Yeah, we hunted right across the street from a bar called the Marine Corps, or not the Marine Corps. Or,
I can't
is
remember
it the
the
Marine
name.
Corps? I think it's called the Marine. Like literally, we hunted it again this year. It's like from here, it's like 200, 300 yards away, and we go out there, and him and Turkey are laying in the field, and geese are like landing on the other end. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out there, kick them out. Go out there, kick them out. I come running back because more geese are coming off the refuge. I lay down. First like 10 or like 6-pack comes in. Nick's on the right, Turkey's on the left. 2 of them land on Nick's side. 1 lands behind Turkey's left shoulder, and 2 are right in front of me. And I'm like, kill him. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I kill my 2.
Yeah, Nick kills his 2. I kill those 2. Turkey's like, I just got this one out back. I'm like, Nick, you kill your 2? Yeah. I'm like, see that one kicking right there? That one's banded that I just shot. Nick's like, no way. I was like, yeah, but it was banded. It was banded from Wisconsin too. I was like, fuck yeah.
And like
That's
3
awesome.
weeks before that, we're in Nebraska, and we have a single, and he's doing it. Last second, nah.
Yeah, I'm on the far left. Yeah.
Joe's on the far left. He's like, I'm gonna try him, guys.
Yeah.
Don't even do it, Joe. Bow, wings it, because it was like a 60-yard
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
It goes down. I'm like, great. Now he's gonna be running in the field.
I'm
Yep.
fast. Very fast.
Fucking. I'm kind of like,
Very
God
fleet
damn
of
it.
foot.
All right, there's more birds coming. Get it quick. Comes back. Leg bear.
Yeah.
What the
no.
Yeah, all is
way.
forgiven if it's banded, no matter
Exactly.
what
And
you
it
did.
was just crazy that year, like how many bands you got that there was no draw. It
Yeah,
was
no. It's like I
shot
killed.
that, you
I
know,
killed.
That's
that,
the
yeah.
best way.
That
That
is
is just
And
the
on
best
social
way.
media, people always say that too. Like, how come you're always holding the bands? Well, because of situations like that, dude.
Yeah.
There was one time we were in Nebraska, me and my buddy Alec, and God, there's somebody else. And Turkey Man was with. You weren't with. You weren't with when we were in Nebraska hunting with Dooley.
Yep.
And my buddy Dooley, he's got this field like next to his house, and he lives in this little cul-de-sac next to this refuge. He's like, dude, you can shoot him in the field right in my backyard. Like he lives in the country kind of. And these geese were starting to roll over his house. And we were like 5 away from a limit. He's like, if one flies over, dude, shoot it. I was like, all right. So we're sitting there cleaning birds, and all of a sudden, caw. I was like, oh, that sounds really close. I run out there, me and Alec did. And I pull up, bash this thing through the trees. Single goose, just pass shooting it. Folds, crushes my buddy's trailer, lands in the bed of Dooley's truck, jumps out of Dooley's truck, and stands there. And Dooley goes, it's fucking banded. And I'm like, no, it's not. I look over at Alec, and Alec looked like he was about to vomit because he's like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, but you're the luckiest guy I've ever met in my fucking life. And I've got so many stories like that. There's just crazy. Me and Nick went to New York. When was that? January?
March.
In March,
I can't
two-pack
even tell
comes.
you how jealous I was. When you guys did that, I'm like, what? There's a season? Because snow goose hunting
Yeah.
is just like
And the goose hunt was sweet.
halfway
It
through
was
the
awesome.
snow goose hunting season.
I'm Canada hunting through March for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no
you
shit.
guys. That
But
was
Nick,
just
we
mean.
had a bunch of. We ended up meeting up with a guide service, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'd love it if you guys came and helped." We're like, you don't got to pay us. We just want to come here and hunt. We're only here for like 3-4 days, right? So then we have like 14 guys in these A-frames on this tree line. 2 geese land on the left foot, and it's like way away from the clients. Nick's like, "Well, I'm just gonna shoot these." Cling, cling. Walks out there. He's like, "Leg band, dude." I was like, "No way."
Got a New York leg band.
It's always cool when you get leg bands, but it's a lot cooler when you get them in other states. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was gonna ask, what's the most states that you've hunted? Different states you've hunted in a season?
8 or 9. And I typically do like 7 to 9 per year. And
Really?
a
That
province.
seems like a lot.
Yeah.
You go to Canada?
This year
Yeah.
I was running wild, dude. Right away in September, I skipped our opener here in Minnesota because it usually sucks. And I went to Tennessee with my buddy Nathan, and we killed neck collars. We only killed,
Oh
I
my
think,
God.
8 geese the whole time, but 2 of the ones that I shot were neck collars, so I was like, sweet, you know. And I let the guys, we flipped coins for them. Like another guy was like, I think I shot it too. I'm like, all right, let's flip a coin for it. And I won, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet. And, oh, God, I got that story so crazy. I should tell it some other time. Kind of long, but.
We'll see.
So anyway, I got 2 neck. So Tennessee, and then where'd I go? Did I hunt Nebraska this year? I don't think I hunted Nebraska. I went to North Tennessee, North Dakota,
Oklahoma,
Oklahoma, yeah,
New York,
New York, Illinois,
North or North Dakota. We did a migrator
Yeah.
deal in North Dakota. That was awesome.
yeah.
We got a
Al-
band on that trip too.
Yeah, we did. And Big Al invited me, who owns Big Al Decoys,
Ohio.
which, by the way, are the best silhouettes in the game. And yeah, in Ohio, we live it out every day too. That was so awesome, dude. That Big Al guy is probably one of the coolest dudes that I know. He's just such a genuine good dude. Like, hey man, this is my house. Looks like a giant log cabin in Aspen. You're like going by all these nice houses. Like, I wonder if Big Al's not going to take me to like a trailer house. No, absolutely not. It's a huge log cabin. And he's just super nice, and his wife and his kids were so freaking cool.
And we hunted with his kid
Yeah,
Nate.
we hunted with
New York.
Yeah, we hunted with his kid Nate in New York. That's how we got the plug in New York. And yeah, I mean, it was just such a freaking epic season. It was so fun. And I mean, Fergus Falls was on fire this year, and
Well, we're shaping up for a good one this fall, I think.
I think so too. I've been
Really
seeing
good
a
hatch.
lot.
yeah, the goose
of
hatch
babies.
is nuts, dude.
Ducks too.
Yeah,
Yep,
there's
ducks
a lot
too.
of baby
Yep.
ducks too. Yeah.
And well, it's kind of like I saw some flooded out nests when I was fishing early because the water levels
Yeah,
were so
yeah,
high.
got
I was
so
on
high.
Chisago, and you could see like there's water like in the nest. You know, like ooh,
Yeah, that
those
didn't-
ones aren't hatched. I'm like maybe we won't have that good of a hatch, but turns out.
It's dynamite.
But
It's-
I know with ducks at least they'll clutch. They'll
That's a good-
re-clutch.
That's a good beer. I don't know what that is, but it kind of tastes like a
It
little.
says number 7, right?
Yeah. What is
Seven
number
or
Oh, they
seven?
write it on there.
Here,
Oh, look at
fishy,
that.
fishy.
Oh, that's the apricot one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
it's good.
Let me
Shit.
try
So
this.
Hefeweizen is it's like a wheat beer, so kind
Nick,
of
you
like
ain't got no beers. Get up.
kind of like a Blue Moon,
Oof.
but it's definitely
good.
Yeah, it's
apricot-y.
good.
I drank my 2 beers already.
Right.
My car just broke down.
You have nowhere to be. You should go get some more beers.
I packed an overnight bag just in case.
Yeah.
Because I always
well,
do.
I definitely. I was like, oh, I have. Yeah. There's no way. We're gonna come out here and meet at a brewery. I'm not
right.
driving back.
Yeah. I'm only having a couple
That's what I
beers,
was like-
but you never know.
That's
so
what
I
I was
packed an
best to you
overnight
guys. I'm like,
bag.
all right,
Right.
what's the plan? Do I need to get a room?
Me and
Okay,
Nick.
I got
You
a
got
cool-
floor
cool band
space
story.
because I gotta. I'm not.
I got a
driving.
cool band story. This happened with Joe, and I shot my full limit 3 birds.
Of leg bands.
All leg bands,
And-
and one was on a gray leg hybrid.
Yeah, weird farm goose, like half Canada, half farm goose.
Yes, this was like 2012.
And it was banded?
Yeah.
Yes. And so I was just sleeping because I work second shift, and
Right.
Joe knew I worked second shift. All of a sudden, like it was just like right around sunrise or something. Or Joe
We've been
calls me.
limiting out every day in this field. We call it the field of limits because we just been smoking them out there every day. And we only got we got like 3 days left of the season. And on the 3rd day before I called Nick, we limited out, got 2 leg bands, and I killed one of those weird farm geese. They came in, and I was like, speckle belly, and I pulled up and shot it when I went out there. I was like, yeah, my first speck, this was like 6 years ago. And
Right.
I look at him like, that's not a speck, that's a weird farm goose. So then I called Nick, like, hey, it's the last day. Me, you,
Well, somebody had to leave.
Kenny.
Kenny Peterson had to leave.
Yep.
And so I'm sleeping. My phone rings, and Joe's like, "Hey, can you come out and join us? We got an open blind." I live 90 minutes away from Joe, so I was like, "I'll be there in 70 minutes."
Yep.
And,
Yeah, right.
So I pull up, and I walk out there, and Joe. It
Wait.
was past the morning flight.
First flock, I killed a band. So I was
That
like,
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I got a band, whatever.
Before I was there.
I'm a freeze baby. So when Nick got there, I kind of got settled in, like, hey, this is the deal. They're flying to this field that's got manure on it, and they're coming back. I'm cold. My feet are cold. I'm going to the truck. So I went and sat in the truck.
And it was just me and Eric Hankey.
Yeah.
And we were sitting out there just kicking snow because all the birds were out feeding.
Yep.
And I'd showed up kind of mid-morning. And so we're just kicking snow around, telling stories, talking shit. And he goes, I could really go for it right now? A 4-pack of honkers in our face.
All banded.
All banded.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting you. Like 60 seconds later, blook, I hear a honk. I'm like, oh, shit, 4-pack coming at us.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sitting in the truck.
So we get down, and they just buckle up and do it perfect. 3 of them do. One of them's hanging back. There's 2 of them doing it perfect on my side, 1 perfect on Eric's, and then the one, kind of flaring out. So I come up, bang, bang, I kill my 2, and he kills the one right out front, and he puts a pellet or 2 into the second one, but it gets back into the refuge. Mm-hmm. And so I go out there, and I pick my first bird up, fucking banded. I don't say a word. I was like, oh, wait. Did we just get did
No
Eric
way.
Hankey just ask Jesus Christ himself?
The band got answered.
I go and I said, nah, that couldn't be. I picked up my second one.
Oh my
It was
God.
fucking banded. And then I hear Eric go, I got a band! And I was like, no way, dude. So we just got 3 bands out of this flock.
I have no idea this is happening, by the way.
Yeah, he's like, Joe's in the truck warming his toes up.
That's what you get
Yeah.
for being
So-
a pussy.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so was that 4th bird banded? I'd like to think so.
Of course.
Probably, of course. it was.
Probably.
Double banded more
So
than
then,
anything.
I
Two
mean,
Jack Miner, man.
Me and Eric are, we're hugging. We're jumping up and down, like high-fiving it until
tongue
like,
involved.
Then, all of a sudden, blook, hear another honk. And this is like a V'd-up flock of like 20 birds. They're coming back from the feed field. They're going straight back over to the refuge. And I go, whatever. We're just kneeling by our blinds because they obviously are not going to do it. But there was a goose leading the flock. Its name was Coke Face because it was a...
Yeah.
We called it Coke Face because it was a gray leg hybrid. And
Ah.
he had a pure white face.
Yeah. Looked like he just
okay.
buried his face in
Leg.
some blow.
Yeah. So I go, oh, shit.
Charlie Sheen.
They were like 50 yards away, maybe 55, V'd up coming over the top. And I go, fuck, there's Coke Face. Like, I got to try a crack at him. So I put
Ah,
like a
see what you did there?
I put like a 4 or 5 foot lead on him. Bang! Miss Coke Face. But there was 2 more gray legs following him directly behind. I killed both of those in one shot. So I'm like, I missed Coke Face, but I killed 2 other hybrids in one shot. That's pretty cool. So I walked, and they were both dead as shit. I was like, wow, that was awesome.
Right.
And I walked out there, picked up the first one, like, cool, got a gray leg. And then also I'm kind of thinking, I just killed 2 geese in one shot, which is over my limit. Because I had already just killed.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, what? You just told the story.
And then I picked up the second one, and it was a banded gray leg hybrid. I'm like, I just got 3
But then
fucking
gray
bands.
leg hybrids don't count
They
towards your
should
limit.
They
count.
do not
They
count.
shouldn't.
I didn't know that at the time, but I told this story before, and somebody goes, did you know that hybrids are farm bird hybrids,
Yeah.
not game bird hybrids, they want you to get those out of the breeding flock. There's no limit on them. It's
Yep.
like a farmer going out and killing his own farm goose. I was
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
oh, it was an accident
So-
anyways, but at the same time, we quit
Yeah, there's
hunting.
no,
Yeah,
I guess there might be some gray area here. We'd have to get an actual conservation officer, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Like a farm, it would still count towards your limit if it was like a honker snow goose or honker
Yeah,
speck
'cause it's-
hybrid. 'Cause
yeah.
those are 2 wild. Those are 2 game species.
Game
As
species,
soon
yeah.
as that domestic
So-
blood gets in there,
Right.
it's no longer a game species.
Right. So on that, I get out of the truck, and Hankey's walking towards me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? We need 4 geese. I didn't even hear him shoot. I just see Nick walk out in the field and pick up a goose, and I was like, oh. We go walking back. Hankey goes, we limited out, and every one of them's banded. And I was like, shut the fuck up. But, like, me and Hankey are buddies. We're not, like, really good friends. And I'm like, for some reason, he wouldn't lie to me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he was, like, a really, really, really good friend
Yeah.
of mine, like, quit fucking around. He's like, swear to God, dude, go get the trucks. We limited out, all 4 of them banded. I start walking out and get to Nick. Nick's on the phone just pacing like crazy. I'm like,
Telling the story.
I'm like, like, oh my God, it happened. And I get up to it, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone's got a band on their leg. And I run over to my bird. It's just rigor mortis out froze. Mine's still banded. I'm like, oh my God. So what happened? But no, so those farm
Hey, you
geese,
could have
dude.
kept hunting.
So
I
those,
think we could have, yeah, but
No.
I didn't know that at the time.
right, so those farm geese, dude, Aaron Luke, my buddy Aaron Luke, you know Aaron Luke, right?
Yeah.
His wife had these farm geese out at their house because he lives out in the country, right? And she was like, I don't know, she was 19 or 20. Her name's Nikki Luke now. And so she took these farm geese because they needed to get rid of them. So they brought them to the sanctuary, and she just threw them over the fence. So those 2 farm geese
Jesus
are the
Christ.
parents
Yeah.
to the goose you shot and that I shot.
And then also,
And they breeded with Canadas.
and they do and banned them with Canadas.
Yeah, and we banded them on Canada. That was the
you
year
ban-
I banded
when
them.
Oh,
banned-
that's what I was
you
going to ask. If
yeah.
it was like a before now I
So
know
the
the
ba-
answer already, but I was going to ask if it was a private, just a farm band or something.
No,
An
it was a
actual
federal band.
federal
So,
band.
so
But
we-
when they do the banding,
yeah,
like,
it
Joe
was
did it that year.
2000. I was
12 or 13.
something like that. Yeah, and
Yeah, you
I
can't tell, they're all little gray fluff balls.
I helped the DNR band them that year at our sanctuary. And yeah, you just hoard them up. I mean, you could see the big Canadas in there, right? And we got like one of them farm geese and we just threw it out. But all the babies were in there, and they're just little gray birds with big feet,
Yeah.
you know, that you can put a band on. So that's all we did. So then when I seen you got that one, and I looked at the numbers because I knew what the numbers were, I was like, oh, dude, I promise you this is going to show up as a big Canada goose. And Nick was like, well, I guess we'll find out. And it showed up big
Yeah,
Canada
when
goose.
I reported it, it said
Yeah.
species large.
And we
Canada
actually
goose.
accidentally banded like 5 to 6 blue geese that year because when you get them in the pen, like I said,
Yeah.
they're just little fuzzballs. You can't tell the color. So there's still, in our Hutchinson Sanctuary, there's still blue geese that got big old honker bands
That's
hanging on
crazy.
their legs.
They just live here. I mean, they're
Yeah, they stay
Snow
here.
Blues, but they just
Yeah.
stay here.
We had like 30 of them at one time. And they never, ever leave the sanctuary. And one time, me and my buddy Jordan were out hunting. And he goes, dude, yesterday when I was driving around, I seen those geese leave the sanctuary, the blues and stuff. I was like, no way. 5 minutes later, you're like,
Like, how
And I was
many
like-
are there? How come they're not just
it's like
getting
30.
killed? I mean,
I don't, they don't leave, but they left this day. and it
Oh,
was me
okay.
and Jordan and Aaron Luke. And we were hunting right next to his grandma's. And all of a sudden, Aaron's like, hey, there are those snow geese. And they're like going over his grandma's, like kind of cornering us. And we were calling. Dude, these things got like from here to the roof, like maybe 15
Was
yards
it?
up
Yeah,
on
that's
us. And
not
we're
even
laying down. They're
15.
coming over our back. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I know there's a few bands in here. And they're on the adult blues. We're like, kill them. Pull up. And like he hunts, I hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aaron hunts. Like we're big hunters. We let 9 shells go. Not a single fucking goose
no.
shot. Not one of them. They flew right back into town, and we never seen them again.
That was
never.
one shot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those
That was
Oh.
5 years ago, and we never seen him again. Trying to get this guy's
Jesus.
attention, so I can get some beers in here, please. But
Dude,
yeah,
I drank mine. I've been out for a while.
I'm gonna get a number. I'm gonna get a
We'll
here
go
fishy
take a-
fishy, man.
Take a run.
Yeah, get some beers.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna
Do
go
a
get
beer
2
run.
more
We'll
for
talk-
me.
well,
You
Joey,
can
you banded geese this year. We'll tell that.
Yeah.
How you got into that and how that went.
Yeah. No. So back when we were talking that I banded Nick's farm goose. Hey, just put him on my tab. I have a tab running. So whatever you get. Hey, give me number 7, and then whatever he wants.
I'm gonna do. What were you doing? Oh, that's the here fishy.
Yeah, that one's my favorite one so far.
It's pretty good.
I'll get a few of those.
Ooh, there's
I'll
that
try
copy
this.
one.
This
Holy
intend
shit.
intend to face 7 and 12. Yeah, it's cream ale. We'll try that.
But,
this is really good, but it's like a little too fruity for me. I'm
That's
starting
why
to
I'll probably
question
have
my
one.
sexuality if I have too many more of these.
Jeez, I'm gonna slide over a little further towards you. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Got any geese you can donate to me?
trying to get goosed, boy. No, so I helped band those geese. Somebody called me, texted me. This was like before Snapchat, and was like, "Hey man, there's DNR out here banding them." And I called my camera guy, who was roommates with me. I'm like, "Let's get over there and film it," you know. So it's on my YouTube channel, Lifetime Waterfowler Co. on YouTube, and that's how I helped band. But this time, last year, some guy Snapchatted me and was like, "Hey dude, we're down at the sanctuary banding your geese." I was like, "No shit." And I live like 2 blocks away, so I flew down there, and I was just talking with him, you know. And then this year, because I know they usually band them around like end of June, you know.
They have to be big enough so the band doesn't
Yeah.
fall off the little one's legs.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
obviously not so big that they can fly. So
Exactly.
there's kind
So,
of a sweet spot
so I
there.
knew they'd do it around this time, and I put a Snapchat out like, "Hey, who was that guy that Snapchatted me?" Blah blah blah. And he messaged me right away. He's like, "Oh, it's me, but I don't live there anymore." I go, "Well, can I get the name of the guy who does them?" He's like, "Yeah." So his name was Tim, super nice guy, out in the Nicollet, Minnesota area. And I got a hold of him right away. He's like, "Hey, Joe," knew who I was. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, since the DNR knows exactly who I am. But he goes, "Yeah, you can come help band." And my buddy Brian Hansen, right when I sent him a snap, like, "Hey, I'm going to help." He's like, "I want to come help. That'd be fun." It's just fun. It's cool as shit, because we do love geese. We love hunting them. But like the Canada goose is literally my favorite animal to look at, to study, to watch, the sounds, everything.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, go ahead. You guys can both come."
I don't know if we should have had Bad Luck Nick, do this. Is he gonna make it?
No, he can do it. But
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Nick, that you made it without dropping those. The way your day was going, I wasn't sure.
here you go.
You see the extreme focus on my face?
I did.
Thank you very much.
That was game face for sure.
So
I don't remember what's what.
we went and helped them band them.
Here,
And
drink up.
See, that's this. That's the Hefeweizen.
oh my God,
That's the cream ale.
I almost put this on my. Is
I
it?
betcha. Yeah, I'd
Let me
do a
try.
bet. What did
Whatever
you,
I'm drinking
What one
tastes
did
good.
you get?
I got the Pilsner again.
The
Yeah,
Pils-
that's
does
definitely
it taste
the-
like a Pilsner?
Number 7.
Yeah, you want to try it?
The fishy.
Yep, that's cream ale.
Here, try this.
All
I
right.
could drink 30 of those
What's the
things.
Pilsner? Of
You
course
will.
you can. Yeah, that's all day. I mean,
So-
this is a cream. Try that. It's cream ale. That's a pretty benign cream ale as far as cream ales go.
The Bobbing Bobber Brewer Co. in
Yeah, actually
Hutchinson,
it is.
Minnesota.
That's super
Yeah,
super
it's
light.
really easy to drink.
But yeah. So anyway, I went and helped band those geese, and we went to Mankato, banded a bunch by the Walmart place. I don't think they care if I say where we banded.
No,
them. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
think people are just gonna
But
Park
it's
snatchers.
try
But
to
it's-
target them. How are you gonna try? I mean, maybe
But it's
early
cool.
Called
season you might
bread
get
and
some.
pliers.
yeah, right.
Well,
But it's
true.
it's just cool because they can't fly right now. They got their flight
Yeah.
feathers. Some of the parents can fly, but they usually choose to stay with the babies. Like, hey, we're not
for
leaving
sure.
them.
Yeah.
So you just
Choose, they'll
basically
fight ya.
you surround this big pond, and 2 guys in kayaks get in there, and you push them through one corner, and then you grab these nets and just surround them. And after you put the net on them, I mean, there's no top to it; they just don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were doing it, I was like, "Oh, that one's banded, this one's banded,"
Crazy.
And I love doing it because, for like, I don't know, it's cool for science, sure, but the rebands are really cool because you get to pick them
You
up.
get the story.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
get to
that's-
pick them up, and you're like, "Oh, dude!" Like we picked up a 13-year-old banded goose. The band was so worn, and I know the numbers really well, like 1008. And I was like, "Oh my God, dude! I bet that one's like over 10 years old." And me and Brian made a bet. Brian's like, "I'm gonna bet 11. I'll bet 12," and it was 13 from Iowa. So it wasn't anywhere near it. So it's just cool to run around and
It's all for me.
do banding shit.
The bands are so cool, but for me, it's like the story. It's all about story. I want that
Yeah.
information back. I want like,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I like on a snow when you're like Winstill or Churchill, Manitoba. You're like,
Especially
what
snows.
the hell, dude? This bird has traveled.
So far.
And the one I shot was like, I think it was like over 16 years.
Well, Joe and I were actually talking some band hunting strategy earlier today. We're
Yeah.
like, we should say this on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Because people like to know, like, how do you band hunt? Like,
Right.
what do you do?
Dave Smith and Brad Cochran.
Yes, they got band hunting on the Dave Smith Decoy podcast, and it kicks ass.
And it kicks ass. And their band stories are awesome because like you literally go out and you don't just target your limit. You
Right.
target banded birds.
You're passing on a for sure
Yeah.
dead goose because you
Right.
you don't know if it's banded or not. You're
Right,
like,
so,
no,
like-
I'm waiting.
And you really get to enjoy goose hunting because instead of,
It's a pure show. It's a different thing
And are
than.
you landing them?
Oh
Yes,
yeah, for
yep.
sure. Yeah.
So now you're letting
So
them walk
you,
around.
You land
Yeah.
birds, and you when a goose lands in your decoy spread, it kind of stands up alert.
Instantly, yeah.
It's at attention, and it's looking for something wrong.
Yep.
And it takes about 2 to 5 minutes for
Yep.
them to actually just
For
they
you
kind
to-
of just like
Hey,
shake it off.
nobody
They're like,
else
all right.
Yeah. You just sit
moving here.
still. You just sit still. Just don't move. Don't like usually like okay they landed. You want to
Yeah.
like push your head up,
Yeah.
put the binoculars up. You know?
Don't, yeah.
And don't just sit there. Just keep peeking over it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And once they've decided that they're ready to calm down, you can damn near walk up to them.
Yeah, you really can.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So,
a
like-
that's a hot tip.
So
right
like
there.
after like 2-3 minutes.
kind of
of,
watch
like-
their body language and they start doing goose things like
Yeah,
feeding and
like when
doing
they fluff
whatever.
their feathers and start
Yeah.
pruning themselves, and the other ones will be like, "Yeah, I'm comfortable too, buddy." And then they start eating, and that's when you can.
Oh, you're-
that's when you don't open your doors. I just push my head out, and
Yeah.
I keep my binoculars on my chest with a little rag, and I keep wiping the lenses because when those geese are coming, dude, you're excited, so you're breathing on them. You're like, and then when you put the binos up, you're like, "Fuck, I can't see anything." So you just gotta like reaching around your blind for a
Didn't I tell you-
Kleenex.
it was
like,
one of you guys, didn't I tell you about the metal detector thing I saw in the store? It was like a monocle, or what do you call it? Like a telescope. It's a single lens telescope. It's supposed to go on your lanyard. It looks like a.
Oh, sure.
oh my
and it's
god!
just it's
I prefer
literally
to just use a scope turkey.
it literally is
gun, but-
designed and marketed towards band hunting. Like that's why they called it the middle. I read that. I'm like, what the
and it
hell?
turns red.
No, it doesn't do anything. It's just like
Just a monocle.
A monocle, yeah.
Or a
not
monocular.
A telescope. I mean,
How wild would it be if it was like
yeah,
had a red dot on it?
Binocular,
monocular. Yeah. So
It had like a red dot on it. As soon as you pointed at that abandoned one, it like turned red, like that one. Oh my god!
Now,
Yeah.
see, all right, R&D that shit would be a millionaire for sure. But I was
nuts.
like, are you fucking kidding me? When I read the back, I'm like, what the hell is this? And I read it. It's like just so. I mean, it's designed so it can hang on your lanyards. You got your calls there, and then one of those instead of binoculars, if you will. So you're like,
I put on my
Like, what
Instagram
the
yesterday. Like people ask me how many DSDs.
Nick,
like,
you have
what's good-
Instagram? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Nick_A_Johnson. What's yours, Joe?
Mine is Grinder Heintz.
Oh, cool.
Heintz.
I'll have to check that out, and you should too.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, go ahead, follow me on Instagram.
So I posted on my Instagram that Joe, you delivered 4 DSDs to me that you owed me.
Yep.
that you owed me.
I didn't owe it to him.
Was it a
He
bet?
actually
Did you lose
owes
a bet?
me because I got a hold of Dave and Brad of Dave Smith Decoys, and I was like, "Hey man, like I really want to use your decoys because I went to the Oregon
They're sick looking.
Waterfall Festival and I had a lot of Crown Cokes with Brad, and we talked for a while. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I can hook you up with decoys. I'd love it if you and Nick did it." And then Nick started a Dave Smith Decoy fan page
On Facebook.
that does
Join.
really well.
Oh, we need to get him on the podcast. I want to get some of these decoy makers and different
It'd be
people in
awesome.
the industry.
Yeah.
We're going to be on their podcast too, actually.
Yeah, we would. So, anyways, he's like, "Yeah, we'll hook you up with a deal." So anyway, I finally got a hold of Brad, and he's like, "Yeah, we can do this deal with you." And I was like, "There's no way I can say no to that deal. Sure, let's do it." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna send a free box to Nick too because I feel like with him making that Facebook page and just I think he kind of persuaded you into get Dave Smith's." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of, but." I might keep those 4 because fuck Nick. I shouldn't have even said anything. So I called Nick right away and I'm like, "Hey, Nick, I want you to know that Brad is going to send us you a free 4-pack of DSDs. And he's like, "Oh, no way." I'm like, "Fuck, I wish I had friends like me." God, I'm waiting for one. It'd be awesome. But yeah, so I delivered those
I
today.
wish I had friends like me. I'm stealing that line. I'm
Yep.
just going to tell you that right now. I'm going to use that from here on out.
Right.
God, I wish I had friends like me.
So yeah, we were like talking this morning about like how many DSDs you need, and people were messaging me, and I was like, you only need 4 or 8 decoys. And another thing with band hunting is I don't like using big spreads at all.
Well, hard to see, I suppose.
Even because I own 72 Dave Smiths now, and I've hunted a lot with like 60.
That's a small fortune.
Yeah. So I kept it at 69 for a while.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're going to work the 420 now?
Yes.
Next time I mention it, it'll be 420.
Yeah, right.
Until then,
I'm gonna quit at
we're
420.
calling it 69. They're
And
staying
then-
in the box until I have 420.
I'll get 69. Nick will get
You have
420.
to get to 1776 for America.
Oh, America.
Goddamn right. 1,776
America.
DSDs.
Jesus.
That'd be a good spread.
Anyways, but I've done some band hunts where I've put out like 65 of my DSDs, and I realized I should not have done that.
Yeah.
Because even though they look great, like when geese land in a flock of Bigfoots, or a decoy spread full of
You can
Bigfoots,
tell.
they're fucking freaked out. They look
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
they go, "This is not."
And they start walking out of your
real."
spread. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's killed us yet, but
Yeah.
there's something ain't right.
When you use DSDs, they're just way chiller. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, but when I've used like 60 plus DSDs,
Mm-hmm.
it's still like a weird statue garden to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're standing around and they're not walking out of the spread like they would.
They're very uncomfortable. Like if you were to move, like I said, right when they land, they'd probably be
Yeah.
like, I'm out of here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So I'm kind
Yeah.
of a believer, like if you're going out to do a hunt, specifically to band hunt, if you can use as few decoys as you possibly can. That way, like say you're using 8 decoys.
So you're obviously not running traffic then at this point.
You can. Absolutely.
Would you want
can.
more decoys if you're running traffic?
Depends
Not
on the
necessarily?
situation.
Not necessarily.
Not if I'm band hunting. If I'm just
Okay.
bringing 5 of my buddies out there to murder as many geese as we can on this traffic line, yeah, I'm going to use, 20 dozen Big Al silhouettes and my whole Bigfoot trailer. But if it's a band hunt and I really need this to go well, I'm going to use less decoys, as few as I possibly can get away with.
And I also-
the reason for that is like when they land, say 25 geese land with your 8 DSDs. Most of them are looking at their friends. Like when they land, and there's just a few of them that are looking at the decoys. There's just a handful up front that are looking at the decoys. Like those are kind of weird, but even still, there's more feathers than there is plastic
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
in the field.
Okay, so they're seeing more. That makes sense. I know where you're going with that now.
I also
So
think it
the
might
live
be-
birds are outnumbering the decoys, so as they're looking around, they're
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
more of
Yeah.
them.
And I also think it might be scent too. Might sound crazy.
It
But
doesn't
I
sound
think
crazy
I
at
think
all.
if when they land next to something like that, they're kind of like, this is different. And it don't smell right. Because I think birds find fields because they're freshly cut and they go that way. You know what I
Have
mean?
you guys looked into this hex suit? At
yeah,
all?
I know.
Yeah.
I know about it.
Yeah.
So I know some deer hunters that swear by it. I know spear fishermen that really swear by it, and they've
Really?
got some video proof. Like sharks, well, like they don't. I mean, they're picking up on.
It's hard to believe.
They're
but
picking
It
up
is
on
hard to
electric.
believe. But all right, if you don't
But
know
we're
what a
talking
hex
about
suit
birds
is,
that birds
let
that.
me
like,
explain what a hex suit is really quick. 'Cause
All right,
if
sure.
somebody doesn't
Somebody
know
might
what the
not know.
fuck we're
Right.
talking
Yeah,
about,
right.
A hex suit is some scam guy came out with.
Scam guy. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he says like, all right,
Nick doesn't believe in the product.
Right.
what blocks a microwave waves from coming out of the
Microwave.
That's the same technology we've put inside of this suit, and it stops the electrical signal of a body from like putting its electromagnetic.
Having that feeling out. When you walk in a
Yeah.
room, you're like, somebody's fucking in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just have
Smell.
that feeling, seriously. You
And
think?
they've got a bunch of
I don't know.
videos, and I think they even have a television show, and they do well on turkeys. But that's
Right.
turkeys.
Well, turkeys are dumb.
Yeah,
But
turkeys are
here's
stupid.
I haven't tried it. This is just me kind of being open-minded about it. Because I'm a fisherman, you know, and I'm just kind of an animal nut. So
Right.
they've done experiments like with they'll take a baby hammerhead shark and they'll put them in a big pool, right?
Yeah.
And they'll actually bury something that just gives off an electric pulse in
Yeah.
the sand. So this little hammerhead, he's swimming around, he's
Yeah, yeah.
swinging his head
As
like
soon as they
hammerheads
pulse
do,
it, he
and
jolts
he gets
away
over
from it.
where that pulse is, and he doubles
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on himself until he's right over top of it. He gets it.
Yep.
So they're picking up, and the power, the pulse that they were giving off is what a fish would give off. It wasn't like they were, putting a car battery in there and be like, yeah,
Right.
see, it found it. No, like this is how they find their food. So
Right.
at least fish pick
And
up
I
on
will-
it for sure.
I will be open-minded to it to the point where they say that birds use an electromagnetic field to help them migrate.
So they
Right.
do have
Senses that
the
can.
microphone just a little bit closer to your face.
So they do say
There you
like
go.
There you go.
they say birds have a good sense of an electromagnetic field because they use it to migrate. And there's been some people that have also hypothesized that that's how pigeons do homing shit.
Sure.
They found like magnetic particles inside their beaks or whatever,
yeah.
and they don't know
They use
exactly how
pigeons
it
for
works.
missiles and shit, dude. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, in World
they
War
like
II.
peck out a target and
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
It's fucking wild.
Dude, pigeons,
So
they have
I
no
don't think
idea.
it's
And
out. I
waterfowl,
don't
too.
think it's out of the question.
Right.
So
I don't think it is.
I would be.
Nick does. He's
I would
super
be-
skeptical about
skeptical.
everything. I'm willing to give it a chance. Like, let me wrap myself in this blanket
See, I think it would be
while
worth
we're
it.
ban hunting. You
I'm
know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
pay for it, but I'd try it.
Right.
Makers of Hex Suit, if you would like to get some goose hunters on your side.
I saw they did
Give us
a
call.
goose hunt too on their TV show or something one
Really?
time, and they had all the layout blinds lined up, and then
The one guy was
the
open.
one dude sitting on the end of it, just
Listen,
sitting,
you still got to be
crisscross applesauce,
No,
shooting
no.
honkers.
See, it's the-
Yeah,
you
yeah.
still
Still
have
gotta
to
be
be hidden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if it is true that they're picking up on electromagnetic
Yeah.
signals. They're still using their eyes too.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Yes.
so it's
How
not
close
like
do you have to be to feel
you
that
still have
electric
to be hidden.
shit?
But
You
it
know what I
would
mean?
really be interesting. You'd have to do a very scientific approach. You'd have
Yeah.
to same field, and set up, tear down really quick. Or we're gonna do everything
right.
the same. We're gonna,
Your height is your number one thing. no
yeah.
matter
So you
what.
do your
Period.
hide just like you would. We're gonna do one flock. All right. Let's not wear the hex suit.
Yep.
Nobody's wearing hex. Let's call in this flock geese. See how they react.
Right.
All right, however they at, let them land. You're not shooting them. You're going to let them land. See then measure how long it takes for them to figure out something's fucked up, and then they leave. You're not hunting. This is just let's see if this hex suit works. So you log that time frame down, however long they sat.
Right.
All right, once they leave, all right, everybody put on your hex suits, go right over the top, whatever the hell you're wearing, wait for the next flock of geese, and then record that. How long did they, how well did they decoy? How long did they sit in the decoys? Did they stay in any longer? And just
Right.
you'd have to do it as scientific process as much as possible to get a non-biased result. And there's just
way
so
too
many
much
other
time.
factors.
I'm
Well, there's
not
other
gonna do
factors
that.
too. Did somebody move? Did somebody
Yeah,
not
yeah,
move?
yeah.
You have
and
to do
waterfowl hunting, nothing is recreatable.
Yeah, well,
Right,
you would
yeah.
almost have to
You
do
can't-
this
you
for
I've
an
had-
entire season. And
I've
see how
had
it
so
panned
many
out.
ban hunts though, where if I've been stubbling my blind, I'm like, oh, I need to go get more grass. So I'd go get more grass, and I'd walk by my blind oh shit, it's right there. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
When you
that's
do it
an
right, that's
impeccable
the way-
height. So
yeah.
when I go ban hunting, if you're hunting a green grass field, I wear a green
Yep.
green hat, and I face paint, it's just me out here. When I go ban hunting, it's me and a buddy that knows what we're doing. We're not here to shoot our limit. We're going to land 400 geese. and we're not going to pull the trigger unless it's banded. You know what I mean? So
That takes some discipline.
it does at first. I'll tell you that. But I mean, the
It
more
does.
and more, I mean, I hunt every single
Yeah.
day. You know, like decoy, and I still get a rush out of it. But it's a different sport when you are laying there, letting the birds naturally decoy and not killing them. You know what I mean? They'll land
It's
really.
And
They'll
you're, just
land.
straight, and you're turkey shooting them once you realize one's banded, right?
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
pop up
I
and
shoot them right on the
ground
ground.
pound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect me at all. That doesn't matter. I mean, there's a lot of guys that say like, you shouldn't have shot it on the ground. It's like, why, dude?
I don't like
Then
chewing
ask
pellets.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Then ask that guy. it doesn't even-
Do you want me to
ask
wound
that
it
guy
if it gets
he
back
waits
up?
for a turkey to fly. This is a weird
Right,
thing.
exactly. I know,
If
it
you
really
shoot a
is.
turkey on the wing, you are shunned in the turkey hunting industry.
What about
in
deer?
in the world?
What about deer? Should you be like, hey, deer? So it
Yeah,
starts
so it
running.
starts sprinting.
Yeah, and then boom, boom, boom. I gave it a chance to give it away. I'm
Yeah.
so ethical.
It's weird.
Such an
Exactly.
It's
ethical
weird like
deer
that.
hunter.
It's a way to
We
wound them
talked about
too.
that
You
with
know.
like turkeys and grouse too. It's like if you ground pound grouse, some like dyed in the wool wing shooters would be like, no, young man. And then if but turkeys, you always ground. And to
It's
the
like a
fact
shun
that if
thing.
you
I
shoot,
think it's bullshit.
and that
I
if
think
you
that's
shoot a
bullshit,
turkey
too.
on the wing in the turkey community, you'll get browbeaten. It's like,
when
come
I'm
on, guys.
when I'm meat hunting, I shoot on the ground most of the time.
Yeah.
If
Shoot
I
them in the
can,
head, yeah.
if I can.
Yeah, you
Because
don't want
a lot
to
of
break your
times,
teeth on the BBs.
if I'm meat hunting, it's half a band hunt anyways. You
Right.
know, like I'm gonna land.
Right.
Say you're hunting a cornfield, like you land 20 birds. Like these stocks are too high to see any
Yeah.
fucking legs anyways.
Right.
Like I'm letting them walk around for 2-3 minutes. Like God
Right.
damn, all
I
right,
think these
boom.
conversations piss some people off though because they don't have hunts where they have the opportunity to land
To
200
land 'em, yeah,
birds. You know, they're
exactly.
they're shooting everything that comes in, so it's probably the only geese they're going to get to shoot at today.
No, people get good hunts
I
out there,
think
man.
A lot of people.
Everybody
No,
just
I
wants to
mean
bring.
around the state. I
I
know,
know,
a lot
but
of
people have those. A lot of people have great hunts with it, and they don't want to band hunt. Like
No.
I've tried to get so many people to band hunt with me, and they how
You can't.
they don't. They want to make a big pile, and
Yeah,
I
they
do
want
too.
piles.
I like to make
I
a
mean,
big
I
pile
do too
too.
at a point. I mean, I think I've proven to Facebook and Instagram and people that I can make a pile of birds with my buddies. Now I want to make my lanyard look like
It's fun.
nice, you know, because I grew up on the foils and the
Yeah.
zincs, like a lot of these kids do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm guilty of it too. Like, man, look at that. Those are all trophies, basically. You know what I mean? So it's like I want one of them.
They'll have
And I
stories.
mean, I'm not as obsessed with it as I am now. I don't think. but I
That
mean,
means you are.
it's still fun to kill leg bands, you know. But Nick, by the way, I was gonna say when you were talking about like when you're band hunting, you don't like to put out a lot of decoys.
Right.
And another reason for that is because the more decoys you have out, the more feet that are getting hidden with your decoys.
True. That
know what I
happens too. I've had that where you're
Yeah.
trying to make a band, like I say, like
And
in
you're
a
looking through your
cornfield,
binos and you're like, fuck, I can't see those 4 geese because
they're behind so many decoys.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do it in like a corn stubble field. Like me and my buddy Dave Reamer went out to a spot and he's like, oh dude, this is like a 3-acre cornfield. There's like 400 geese. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, let's go out there and band hunt. You know, we'll just put out like 3 dozen decoys and we'll band hunt. That's what we did. Even a corn stalk that's like 3-4 inches tall
Yeah.
can cover a goose's foot.
Especially
and
when they
geese
stack.
don't
I
move.
believe it.
Geese don't move that much. They'll stand there, you know, like they'll do that whole like waiting, you know, like we talked about. And even when they start moving, they'll get up and then they'll step in all that corn trash and it
Yeah,
covers it, you
yeah.
know. You're like, God damn it. Me and my buddy Dave, we probably landed like, oh my God, like 300-400 geese that day. Like probably all of them when they're going to that field. And I was like, Dave, are you all right with this? He's like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I got a goose like 3 feet away from my blind right now. I'm like, I know, isn't it? And then I finally had the binos up, looking, scanning, and finally there was one like 20 yards away from me. And I was like, oh my God, damn, boo! She's like, is it band? I was like, it is. Yes.
Also,
So I am still obsessed with leg bands. And
yeah. That's cool, dude. That's
It's a different challenge too.
Yeah.
I like to say
it
that
is. It's a different
I
challenge.
like to say I got about 40 limit pictures that are missing from my phone, like from my camera roll, because we band hunted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you
like,
could have made a
there's-
pile.
yeah,
There's
so it
Me
would've
and
been
Dave
a
could have
pile
limited
that
out
would've been a
so
pile.
fast. The first group
Yeah.
landed 10 yards away from us, and it was like a 10-pack. And we
Right.
could have. It's easy triples or double, and then the next group, whatever.
You
know?
limit instantly.
But just watching those geese land and work, you know, and it's just freaking cool. I love
I mean,
the
that
Canada
makes
geese
sense
so
to put
much.
it into kind of perspective for other people that might be out there, you know.
If you're hunting the
throwing
band, you're doing
shade.
the wrong thing. Motherfucker, I've been doing this for 15 goddamn
Well, here's the
years.
thing. You guys hunt almost every day,
Yeah, we're
right?
guys.
So you guys you're killing geese like that. The novelty, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
of killing a goose that most weekend warriors, you know, people that are working a, you know, and
Yeah,
I
they
don't
got a
say
regular
that as
job.
a derogatory term. I just mean, you know, you're a Monday through Friday, like most of
Everybody's
us.
hunting as much as they can.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know the weekends, like you're not going to leave it up to chance. You want your 5 or your 3 or whatever the time of the season is. Like you want, so they're not going to. When they hear somebody that's like, oh, we landed 100, 200 birds and we're just looking for bands, they might have the tendency to go, those assholes. But I guess what I'm trying to talk to them is like, listen, it's a different perspective
I got
because
2 things people have told me negative about band hunting. Number 1, I'm skewing data, which A is not true.
fuck up.
B, they want that data. They want those birds to be killed.
Yeah.
You might, but they do make harvest data off of bands. But I'm not killing that many bands doing this. It's not like
you're not going to skew it by that much. And how many?
I'm getting like 1 band per season doing this, 2 bands, couple
You would
of
only
times.
skew the data if like a lot of people.
And then the second
That's
thing
not
I've
skewing the data.
the second thing
We're
I've
band
heard
hunting.
people
No.
talk shit about is you're educating a lot of birds. And I was like, okay, well, when I land 20 geese into
People's
my
opinion are so crazy.
when I land 20 geese into my decoys and I sit in my blind and I let them relax, and then I can slide up out of my blind
Yep.
and I get the binoculars out and I check them all, like after they've calmed down. They usually sit there for like about another 20 minutes, and then they'll either walk away, then fly away, or just fly away. And when they fly away,
Yeah.
a lot of times they fly right over your blinds
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
because they're
'Cause they
curious
have
about
no-
what the hell is that thing
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They are very
So
curious.
if I've educated a goose, it's not that a decoy spread is something to be scared of.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You might be helping. Then the next time, like, hey, that looks like, well, it's fine.
I've had that happen so many times, like, because when you first sneak up out of the blind, you got like 8 birds that are in the spread. Check them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no bands. All right, well, fuck it.
And you just relax and watch 'em.
I open my doors, like, and I'm like, you can open up and stand up, like, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And these, like, after you've given them that 3 to 5 minute rest period to let them calm down, they just chill there,
Yeah,
and then
they hang
they're
out.
watching you talk to your buddy,
Yeah, just hanging out.
and they're just
They don't see you as a threat.
No,
they
they
don't
don't.
see you as a
'Cause
threat.
you're not
and
a
then,
threat to
and
them,
then the
'cause you're
weird
not
thing is,
banded.
when they fly away,
They
when
don't know that.
When they
Right.
fly away, they'll fly like 10 feet right
Yeah.
over
yeah,
your
to
blind.
come check you out.
Yeah,
Say goodbye to you.
yeah, it's like they're saying
Oh,
goodbye.
they're parkies. I mean, kind of. I mean, why don't they flare in people in the park? I mean, they know what to be afraid of or what to be
And
not
when
really
to be afraid
but
of them.
when
Like when you get out of city
like,
limit, they know, like,
If
oh,
it's
okay.
been like 3 to 5 minutes and they haven't
It
been
happens
messed
almost
with,
everything.
like they
Like,
just
I've
calm.
told this before too. When I used to live in Matamita, which is a metropolitan suburb, and I used to bow hunt in the woods behind the house. I can damn near walk up to the deer when they're in my yard, eating
Yeah.
my flowers. I'm like, get the hell out of my
Yeah,
yard,
'cause
blah,
they
blah,
know
blah, like
not to
walk right up to them.
be afraid of
If
it.
I go 5 years into the woods, they're blowing at me and stomping just like any
5
wild
yards
goose
into the
anyway
woods?
because, they know. They're like, there's people aren't back here.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
no,
supposed
yeah.
to be in that
You're supposed
mode
to-
part.
yeah, exactly.
They know where people
Yep.
belong and where they don't belong. They
Yeah,
really
yeah.
do. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like you
nuts.
think, they're easy metro deer. It's like you have to be
No.
just as scent conscious
Yeah.
out there as you do anywhere else. They know where people belong and where they don't
Mm-hmm.
belong.
Yeah.
And so when you're not shooting at them, you're not acting like a hunter. You're not doing the stereotypical things that, like you said,
Mm-hmm. Not
and I'm
being a
backing
threat.
up your argument.
Yeah.
You're the ones that are educated. They're educated to people that act like hunters.
Yeah, yeah.
They haven't been shot at somebody that sat up in their door and had a conversation in the open while they fed.
I think it's something that a lot of
hasn't
people
happened.
can relate to is like if you've gone to lunch and you've come back to your decoy spread to find a bird there, and
Yes.
then you can walk up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
because
go-
he's just been hanging out there
Right.
and nothing's
people-
bothered
That's
him.
true. That
And
does
people,
happen.
People say like, that bird was so stupid. No, that bird's 9 years old.
He let his guard
Yeah,
down.
yeah. He's
Well,
comfortable.
they
None of the
became-
decoys are leaving, because he thinks that they're all birds. Like, here comes this human. Why is that thing? If these aren't moving, why the fuck should I move? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That dumb goose just sat in our spread. Like, what you don't understand is like when you give birds 3 to 5 minutes, that's what they do.
Right.
They
yeah.
become comfortable. So
Yeah.
you were at lunch.
So you can damn near do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can walk up to them. Actually, I got a good band story from this February. I went to Colorado, and Jack Gardner and Noah, they invited me goose hunting with them. Fucking awesome kids, dude. Awesome. I didn't care if these guys had 6 decoys and we were going to sit in the middle on some public land and call it geese. I just wanted to hunt geese in Colorado.
Right.
Turns out they had like 500 Bigfoots.
Didn't they legalize marijuana there, Nick?
Yes.
Not just there.
Right.
And,
Does that dictate where you buy a hunting license? I'm just kidding.
Well, I will be going to Canada a few more times this year. That's for sure. Legalized.
The green wave is coming, Nick. Just relax. It'll be everywhere before
He's been smoking it like it's been legal for years.
Not true.
Not true. Yeah, you're right.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you're
What's
right.
the statute of limitations?
He
on
does
that?
not
Nobody
inhale.
cares. I do not inhale.
Have we had enough beers to tell some sketchy stories?
Oh,
here?
God, we got
you
so
don't
many
even need
sketchy
beers
stories.
for sketchy stories.
God,
But we're
we
on a
got
roll. Let's
sketchy stories.
continue our thought on this on the band hunting. We're at a good thread going. I don't want to
Okay.
derail
All right.
that.
When I was in Colorado, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, we had 2 geese come in, and this was a fucking hell of a day, man. The snow was melting off our field. Our decoys were becoming less and less visible by the minute, and we were running traffic, and these birds were just educated and stale. We got a 2-pack to just buckle down and do it into our spread, but we had our spread way spread out.
Huge.
A huge spread. Because of the loss of visibility, and we had so many birds working over. We just had a big spread.
You're running traffic on
We were
it.
running traffic. These birds landed like 65, 75 yards away. And these kids are going like, let's go get them, let's go belly crawl. I was like, no, just 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5
Yeah,
minutes.
right. And then you can walk to him.
Yeah, and then we'll just get up and we'll stand up and we'll walk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, all right. And we give them 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm watching them, and they say, what do you think? I said, give them another 5.
Yeah.
So
They ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere, yeah, we're hunting. And
Decoys aren't moving.
the
They
decoy,
ain't
yeah,
gonna leave.
we're chilling. There's still other birds flying over and around us and stuff. Another 5 minutes go by. These kids can't hold it anymore.
Right.
They're like, let's go get them now. I'm like, okay, we can go get them now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's just start walking out there. And then I see Noah, and he's just belly crawling like a goddamn Marine.
Yeah, right.
Like, faster than I can belly crawl.
Here's helicopters going over him and shit. Yeah, right.
And I was like, no, stand up. You don't have to belly crawl. We'll just walk out there, a couple of us. And he had tunnel vision at that point. He
Yeah.
was belly crawling. I don't like belly crawling in a group. It's kind of dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
and I was
yes.
like, we'll just let Noah do it.
Yeah. There's 2 geese. He'll be all right.
He'll be fine. He
He'll
goes out
miss
there.
them.
Just kidding.
I have no idea who this Noah guy is either. No idea who he is. But I
out
bet
there.
you'd miss Noah.
Bang, 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 kills the 2 geese, comes back, hey, and then you can hear him freaking out. I'm like, no.
Yeah, he got that banded one.
No. He comes back, he had the first double website band I've seen.
Oh, I was completely wrong about
Nice.
Noah. He smoked him.
Smoked it.
Noah, invite me.
I was kidding.
Oh, that thing
You're
I
the
said
best.
about
You're
you
a great
earlier,
shot.
I did not mean that.
Oh,
Dude,
you're a
those
great
guys
shot.
those guys were great in Colorado. That was such an awesome trip. We had 3 good hunts, and they're younger dudes, and they've had really good seasons stacked on end.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day I was there, we killed like 12 or 14 hawkers, and they were kind of bummed out. Like, man, I'm sorry that we gave you a shitty hunt.
Yeah,
I was
isn't that crazy? It's like, dude, we killed 14 geese in a different state. To me, it's like, we don't got to limit out,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, I was like-
A, I like being here. B, if you're cool, then I like that too.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I
was
mean? Like, we don't have to crush the fuck out of geese. I mean, it'd be really lame if they're like, oh, yeah, we got a good spot. We get there and there's like no geese there. Like, oh, come on, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I get company, I make sure that I do my homework, that we're at least going to get a chance. You know
Right.
what I mean? But, yeah.
I made a post on Facebook like, fantastic hunt tonight. We had 14 dead birds, and they saw it. And the next day when I met them, they're like, did you really think that hunt was fantastic? And I was like, yes.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was an awesome hunt. And they said, why? We only got 14. We usually shoot like 40.
Right.
We get an 8-man limit every time. I'm like,
So what?
dude, if it was anybody else in that field besides us, we would have shot 0.
Yeah, right.
Like, this was not an
Yeah.
easy deal.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I think we prevailed over the odds, and that made it the enjoyable experience. Like, you
Right.
don't have to shoot a limit if you can just beat the odds.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's really where I get my balls tickled.
Something I'd like to
All right, then.
chat about is I had this company on Instagram made this post. Does being a good goose or duck caller help your hunting
Oh, I
or
saw
not?
that.
And I thought, yes, it
Well,
does.
why wouldn't it?
Obviously, you know what I mean. There's a lot of guys like, I don't need to be a contest caller
I
to
shoot
kill
my
geese.
judges.
Yeah, I shoot
Yep.
my judges. Yeah, I mean, you totally do. I do too.
I
But
shoot
it
my judges.
it opens your horizon.
Fuck does
You
that
know what I
even
mean?
It means like I don't go to a calling contest so humans can judge me. I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
hunting and I kill the judges.
And I kill the judges.
because
yeah.
they're the geese.
Because they're the geese coming in and
And
killing
I
them.
it's a
So me and Nick were looking at DSDs, and Nick made
Ay,
a post
ay,
on Facebook that said something like, or Instagram or whatever, or Snapchat. Was it Snapchat?
maybe.
Yeah. That said something like, everybody asked how big what a good Dave Smith spread would be, and
Oh,
the
yeah,
answer is like 4. And I was thinking too, like, dude, you know what? The better goose caller that you are, the less decoys you need.
I believe
sure.
that.
Because I
believe that.
because I can keep your attention, and you're gonna come check me out and be like, oh shit, there's, you know how many times I've been duck hunting with no goose decoys, and like a 2-pack of geese come over, and I'm just sitting there, la, 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 and they circling and circling. You can see their head
They're
moving,
looking for 'em.
moving
What
back
about
and forth.
Pass
yeah, yeah.
shooting. Pass shooting when you can just
Oh
line
yeah,
you
turn
can
them,
li- you can
turn them
line
right at
up.
you. Yeah, you know they can hear you really well.
they're,
So I
just
thought
fly
that
right
same
over
thing.
there.
So it's like, yeah, you kill your judges, but you're usually sitting in an X field, and they're going to that field anyways.
Yeah.
And me and Nick
All
are
you
like,
have to do is not fuck it up.
I
Right.
100% do not believe location is the most important factor for goose hunting.
well, I mean, you're not going to go to the Las Vegas desert and try to hunt a
Exactly.
goose because there's no
Right.
bird. I mean, yeah, calling is not the number one thing. Being in the area with geese is the number one thing. You need to have geese in the area, obviously.
Right,
I mean,
right.
fucking A. But
you
yeah.
do not need to have that X field.
No, you don't. Absolutely not. Me and
And
you run 99% traffic.
Yeah, and
like,
people-
oh, they're going in that X field.
That's
I'm not
another-
even going to try to get permission for it.
Right.
I'm going to run traffic on that
no,
spot.
like you brought that up. Like that's been implanted in my mind since
Yeah.
our last podcast, where you're like,
It's a great strategy.
don't hunt the X. Even if you, I think it was you. Maybe it was you.
No,
I
it
don't
was-
remember.
Yeah, we both kind of
You might
prescribed
maybe
that.
so
I know
it's like
what
a lot of
if
times
you get permission for the X, that's great because now nobody else can fuck it up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
get permission for the fields around it.
Going
and run
to that.
traffic on your X.
Exactly.
So instead of blowing those birds out,
Yeah, yeah.
in
Hunt them
one
for
hunt,
2-3 days, and
you
then
get a-
go hunt
you
the
can
X, and
get
you'll
a few
smash
hunts
them.
out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing
That
too
makes
is a
so
lot
much
of
sense.
a lot
Like,
of times the X field is not the
thought
best
about it.
field to hunt.
No, because those geese are used to going
maybe it
there.
doesn't have a good hide.
And then all
or
of a sudden,
Well, yeah, I'm
then
kinda
all of a sudden
thinking
when
like-
you go there and you got 10 blinds there, like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
they know
you know
that
what I
field.
mean?
They've
Yeah,
been
but they
going
don't
there.
know the field that they're.
Right.
They don't
What
know
if-
the flyover state.
Here-
Basically,
here
it's like,
in
what is this?
Central
you know?
Minnesota, Western Minnesota too. A lot of times the X field is a muddy pit of a fucking plowed, disgusting
or
cornfield.
beans.
And like, what are you gonna do? Walk your shit out there? Walk out 30, 40 full bodies? Walk out some
A-frame, bro.
silhouettes?
A-frame, bro.
So-
Fuck, I hate it.
Okay, so you got these geese. You got a few hundred geese, whatever. They're going into this nasty, tough to hide in, tough to hunt, low decoy visibility plowed cornfield. But next to it, you got a beautiful,
Yeah.
big grass field
Yeah.
that you can drive right in the center of and dump all your decoys. Get right underneath the birds. I feel more confident having success in a situation where we're running traffic on a good hunting field rather than running an X hunt on a bad hunting field.
I will say, if you're a good caller, this probably is a good strategy.
I'd
If
no,
you're
for
calling,
anybody.
for anybody, even if your
Yes.
calling sucks,
Yeah, well,
let the decoys, maybe more decoys.
I would
Let
think
the
I think
decoys do
every,
the job.
I think everybody should stay out of plowed fields. Like if you are hunting
Yeah.
if you're hunting a plowed field, you are already 90% fucked. I mean,
Seriously.
it's just the way
I
it is.
agree with it.
If
Me
you
and
got-
Brian were having this conversation on the way to go ban
you-
those geese, and he was like, "Rah, rah, rah."
If you got 2,000 birds hitting a plowed field, hunt it. You're gonna
Yeah, yeah.
shoot your limit.
they're
of-
gonna swing over
On
you at some
accidentals,
point or
on
something.
just-
You'll shoot your limit at 40
Calling at
yards.
them, like passion, calling at them, they're like, "What's over here?"
It
you know
sucks
what I mean?
just setting up. I mean, walking out because you
Fucking
can't
everything
drive in a
sucks.
chisel
Everything
plowed
sucks.
field.
You
You
can't.
gotta walk and you're twisting
Imagine.
ankles and this.
And then in
that thing.
December when it's frozen,
Yeah. Oh god.
your
it's the
trailer's
worst.
broke, and your fucking check engine light comes on.
Just
It's the worst, and I can't say that I've ever done awesome.
I have, but it's.
I mean,
it's
we've
too-
had
it's more work
we've
than
shot
it's worth.
Yeah,
some,
it's more
but
work
it's
than
like
it's
yeah,
worth.
it's like it's.
I'd rather hunt the
lot of
grass
work.
field across the road.
Yeah.
If you're,
I
I've
mean,
done awesome with small groups. Like if you start to hunting 5-6 guys out of plowed cornfields, you will. If you got enough birds, you can kill your limit.
Right.
But it will be at 40 yards at birds that are telling you to fuck off, and then you got all these guys like, should we move decoys? What's going on?
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
well, that's
blah.
us.
Right.
I mean, I'm the first one to admit it. Like, when things aren't working,
No.
we're constantly in the debate, like, what do we need to change? We need to change something.
Yeah.
Is our hide not good enough? Do we need to move
What you needed to
decoys
change
closer
was
out of blah, blah,
not
blah.
hunted that field in
Not
the
hunt
fucking
that.
first place.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. That's going to be hard for people to grasp too. You know
It
what
is,
I mean?
and people don't
There's
believe
3,000
us.
geese in there.
No,
Nick
I
and
bet
Joe
they
say
don't.
don't hunt out
Yeah.
there. No, we're not saying don't hunt out there. We're going to say that's probably going to suck.
It will
and it
suck.
sucks. You know what
Like,
I mean?
expect a bad hunt if you're expect a frustrating hunt if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
hunting plowed fields.
Listen, I'm of the mentality that, I mean, yeah, everybody is like, they're kind of married to their thoughts or the way they do things. It's really hard to change people's habits. You know, it's just how humans are. But as I come in, you know, what you guys tell me, I'm gonna give a lot of weight to that, and I'm gonna mull it over with my own experience, and I'm gonna meld it
Yeah.
into something that's my own, because
Yeah, you have
guys
to.
are doing this every day. You've been doing it for a long time, and you've been doing it successfully for a long time. So it would be stupid for me to come in, if I'm a weekend warrior or whatever, and be like, no, that ain't the way to do it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
dude,
just put it into consideration because
and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to
That's
do it
all
the
we
exact
ask, really.
way you guys are doing it, but
And
Like-
the way we say to do it isn't the way to do it every time.
Not every
Right.
time. No,
And
every
it's a tool in the
strategy and
bag.
everything
It's
is fucking different.
Fishing is the same way. Like,
Yep.
I know you guys don't fish, but fishing is the same way. It's like every time you go out can be a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a learning experience. So you're going to go out. You're going to fish what you're confident in. But if that's not working, then you go to the next thing that you're confident in, the next thing. And then all of a sudden you get to that. Maybe none of that works. You're like, shit, they're just not biting today. Are they not biting today, or is there something you haven't tried? Hey, I watched this bass show, and Jacob Wheeler, he was doing this thing. I've never done that. Fucking try it. What do you got to do? You can't catch any less. Let's go and try that. Also,
But I
maybe
mean,
you catch a couple fish. So next time you put that trick in your little tool belt. Same thing with goose hunting. It's like, here's this situation. I remember this, and Nick and Joe were talking. Remember they said that thing about the
Try
children's field? Let's go in the sun. Let's try running traffic
Let's
on
try
that
grass high and
instead,
try running a traffic
and let's see
on it,
what
yeah.
happens.
Right.
But the frustrating thing is in the hunting world, I can't tell you how many thousands of people I've told, like, try this, do this, showed you the success of it, and they still don't fucking do it.
It's hard
you know
to
what I
do.
mean? They'll still snap me and be like, how do you hide in a chisel plowed field? It's
The
like,
night before,
God
they probably had
damn
the
it.
plan to do it, but when it comes to it, there's like
that
this
ain't gonna
fear.
work. That ain't gonna work.
There's like this
Fucking
fear,
works all the time to me.
and I've had it, and
Right.
I've made the wrong choice because there's like this. I only have 2 days to hunt. I got to go back to work on Monday, and I want to kill a goose.
Right.
Do I want to try something I've never done?
Risky.
Or do I want to try something that I know has worked in the past, even if it's not going to work today?
Yes.
You're going to go to your 80% of the time, if not 90, you're going to the familiar, comfortable place.
Right.
And I
for
do
better, for
70,
worse.
80% of my hunts risky.
Yeah, so you got.
I want to see what happens.
Just.
And I've learned a lot
I guess
that way.
I guess what I'm trying to say is anybody out there is listening to this and kind of has gone through that, angel devil thing on their shoulder.
Right. Do it,
just
don't
try
do
it.
it.
Just give it a
try
shot.
That's
You
all you can
might
ask for.
it might just open a whole new world, and you're going to become a more successful
And I
hunter
really
overall.
get a lot of that, like
Well,
with
hold
my
on,
Snapchat.
Hey, speaking of trying, I want to try a number 5. Nick, you want a beer?
Crappie flop.
Yeah.
It's an IPA. Ooh, you're an IPA.
I would love
I
a
like
beer.
diarrhea.
It's only
Tell me what
one,
you
so
want.
it's
I'm
only-
going to take the headsets
it's only-
out this
all right,
time.
It's only one bout.
What do you want?
It's only one bout.
You good or you want another one?
Well, I have one now, but I feel like if you're going to get one, I'll order one.
Right,
That was that cream ale you're having?
Yep.
Dude, I'll try number 12.
Number 12?
Number 12, please,
I'm
sir.
gonna try another one. Let's see here.
Dude,
What
I'll
do we
talk
got
while
here?
Joe's gone. I'll go through another decoy
Perfect,
strategy
Joe,
that
while I look
people,
at the menu.
something that is not intuitive, and it's for no-win situations. And a lot of guys run into this in early season in the morning. And what do most people run for their decoy spreads? A horseshoe.
You want number 12?
Yes. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Just do a number 2. Shit, fuck it.
2?
A horseshoe.
Yeah, number 2.
2 and 12.
2 and 12. Okay, so most guys are running a horseshoe. Their blinds up at the apex of the horseshoe, right?
Yes.
So here's why that doesn't work with no-win situations. People think they've created a kill hole like inside of their decoys, but with no wind, there's nothing to direct birds there. Your kill hole is actually the entire circumference of your decoy spread.
So
So
they
when,
can land anywhere in there.
so if with no wind, they don't have to come in from anywhere, and they also don't have to land anywhere. Like the wind really pushes them into a workable direction.
Yeah. In a perfect world, you always have wind. At least it makes
If you're
it a little
if you're
more
hunting a situation,
or predictable.
well, let me put it this way: when I'm hunting a situation with no wind, I'm putting 100% of my decoys in a tight group directly in front of my blinds. And the reason I do that, it's like a ball, just a tight ball directly in front of the blinds. No matter which way, directly in front, I mean like 20 to 30 yards. So no matter which direction these birds come from and want to land, the kill hole is the circumference of your decoys with no wind. It's not inside your decoys. It's outside your decoys. So when people are putting their layout blinds, gridded, one next to the other, they got, an arm going to the left, right, some going behind them. They're pretty much created a landing area that's humongous. Just ginormous.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with hunting no wind is you got birds landing fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
You got birds going,
stop you all the time.
they're going behind you, they're going on the left side, the right side. How do you fix that? What you do is you take as few decoys as you can possibly run, you put them in a tight group 25 to 35 yards in front of the blinds. No matter which direction those birds decide to try to land amongst your decoys or next to your decoys, they're in front of you. They're in front of the guns, and they're at the right distance.
Yeah.
Because another thing, too, they'll get too close. You get a flock too close, And you'll kill 3 out of a flock
Yeah.
you should have shot 9 out
I'm
of.
shooting right past them. Well, and we definitely talked about that, and that's going in. I'm done leaving holes. I mean, we talked about this in our very first podcast about the blob. Like, they're not – if you watch wild geese land with other wild geese, they're not looking for an opening. They filter in right in between the geese on the ground.
They aim for what they can see.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to go with a bullseye versus a hole. I mean, there's just never a hole generally in the wild. Like,
if they were that
random. Like,
if they were that concerned about landing by themselves, they'd land 100 fucking yards
they
away.
would land on the other side of the field. Like, what the hell would they care?
Yeah,
And especially with snow geese. Like, if you watch snow geese, you're talking, instead of numbers in the hundreds, like for honkers, you're talking thousands for snow geese. And I've literally watched 3,000 fly over a field of 5,000, and only maybe half of those dump in. The other half takes off. They don't even like the live geese that are on the ground, much less your fucking sill socks. But on top of that, as you watch those ones drop into the geese, they don't land as a flock. They filter drop out of that flock here, there, and everywhere. Right amongst the other birds. They're not going to the front of the pack, the back of the pack, the side. They're not looking for an opening. No, there's 2 geese that are 3 feet apart, and one decided to split the difference.
Exactly.
Like, I'm dumping right here.
Yeah,
there's no landing zone.
And they don't even care if they land on each other.
They don't. They
push each other.
They fight each other all the time.
They push each other out of the way. Another thing, I was talking to a guy actually.
They ain't shy.
I was talking to a guy on Snapchat today.
Do you remember which one was what? All right, sweet.
And he was asking me why I use mostly uprights. And I say, for visibility. And he goes,
It's more black and white.
yeah, you get more of the white chest, you get more of the black ass. So
more black ass.
All right, that's our target tonight, right, boys? All right.
all right, commonly people use more feeder goose decoys than they do. Let me get that e-cig there, Joe.
That's PCP, dude. I don't know you get wet.
What did you say? Get wet?
Yeah.
Some training day shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm learning all sorts of shit here. PCP.
But
God.
when a flock of geese comes into another flock of geese, most of them have their heads up. If you sit there, you watch 100 geese that are feeding out in a cornfield, you put your binoculars up, 97 of those fuckers are feeding. But watch a flock come into them. Those 97 heads go up.
Yep.
I have said for multiple years now that I was going to run an all-century flock because the times when I'm out scouting and I drive past field and I see geese in a field and I see geese working that field, 80% centuries. They all have their heads up.
Really?
And they
Sean Stahl told me he
fly
ran.
right in. I'm like, someday I'm just going to try it.
Sean Stahl did it for a couple months.
Did he? How
yeah,
did it work
because
out for him?
he was working for Greenhead Gear, but they could only get. It was the very first year that they got their full bodies, which had been like 03, 04, and they didn't have any feeders, so they had to go to Canada for their first trip with only the uprights that were given to them.
Okay.
So it worked fucking awesome.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
And people are like, it looks like they're scared, like they're about to fly away. No, it doesn't.
No.
Not at all.
No,
There's even a
they'll
scene.
land with them.
There's even a scene
know what you're
in
about to say.
Not Another Canada video
Yeah.
by Dave Smith Decoys.
Yep. Where they show geese landing in with like 100% centuries. Like they're
100%
walking away
centuries.
from the camera guy that's taking videos of
Yeah.
them, and geese are landing with them.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I think we give them too much credit, the geese.
yeah,
a lot of
I think we
times.
do too. There's a lot of times where like I'll go and hunt with new people, like, hey Joe, come on out here, it'll be great, And I'm like, all right, yeah, you got a lot of pictures of you doing good, I'll give you a chance. And then they go out there and like, oh dude, we can't. These geese are smart, they're educated, you know what I mean? And we can't do this, we can't do that. I'm like, fuck that, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna hide on this fence line. No, we need to go to the middle. No, how many trailers do we have? 3. We're gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're flying right over us. I haven't ever been in a situation where I've been in a spot where 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 more geese have flown over me, where we haven't been able to break them down. You know what I mean? Remember that, Nick? When it's actually it was my cousin Sarah's grandparents' house.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know what you're about to say.
and
The
it was-
lawn hunt.
Yes, dude. And their house like butts up next to this tree line, and half of their grass yard goes into this bean field. And it's a chisel plowed bean field, but the green grass yard's pretty big. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's like 1,000 geese going over it. And they weren't going in that field. They're going to a bright yellow, delicious cornfield that the farmer doesn't let anybody hunt, And we went out there, put a majority of them in the green grass so they could see them.
Like
You know
in
what I mean?
somebody's backyard.
Yeah, in the backyard. Like they're like 5 feet away from the deck. We could have put them on the deck. Fuck it.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And we put a bunch of them out in the bean field. And I think we got our 2-man limit, didn't we?
There was a few of us out there, but I think we got like 4 or 5 geese. But we had geese landing damn near out
Oh, yeah,
our
there was
boot
3
bags.
of us out there. Yeah, yeah.
It was awesome, man. And that chisel plowed field. Had we gone out to the center of that and tried something?
No, nothing, because it was black and
It was black.
The field would have ate the decoys.
We needed some sort of contrast, and Joe's like, the only contrast this field has
is in this backyard.
is
They're
in
going
this
right
backyard.
over it, dude. Yeah.
And there's nobody at the house. We have permission to set decoys in the yard.
Yep.
What would you think if we just put decoys in the yard so they could see us?
Yeah.
And I said,
we're
doing that.
We put our blinds around the fire pit.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. We did, dude. Yeah.
And we took pictures on the propane tank.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes. I think it was, I can't remember what we killed. But I've never had a situation where, I always tell the people, get me under them. If you can get me in a good field and get me under them, we're going to kill geese. We might not hit a 10-man limit, but we're going to kill geese. You know what I mean? And if you can't get that X field or get any other better fields that aren't chisel plowed under it, fucking let's do that. You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
yeah. Just get something to where the birds can hear the calls, see the decoys, let the birds react to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're missing one of those elements, you're kind of fucked. If they can't hear the calls or aren't responding to the calls and they can't see the decoys, you're missing one of those, it's not going well. Like, I've seen so many chisel-plowed cornfield hunts where they just can't see the decoys. And it's like, me and Joe are excellent goose callers. And I've seen it so many times where we've hunted a chisel plow and, like, we're ripping the calls. And the geese fly over us and their heads are cranking
Yeah, they're
left,
looking. Yeah.
They're
like,
trying
I can
to,
hear
where
you,
the
but where
fuck
are
is
you?
that coming from?
Right.
Especially these hyper-painted decoys.
Yeah.
Like avians and Dakotas.
Yep.
When they hyper-paint those features, it kind of camouflages them.
Yeah.
Well, that's why a goose is colored that way, right? I mean, they're not. They're trying to be hidden.
Right. A Canada
of
goose
which,
does hide really
How
well.
pointless are full-body hen mallards?
Oh my! Here we go. Let's do it, baby. I think
Here we go.
most pointless decoy you could ever have is
Hen mallard full-body.
hen mallard just a mallard full body. Period. If you are a duck hunter listening to this and you find a field with 5,000 mallards in it, bring 3 dozen goose decoys with you and turn 2 spinners on. You're gonna smash them.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that I'm right, me and Nick will sit next to you, 300 yards away, with 3 dozen goose decoys and 2 spinners, and you take you and your stupid ass full body mallards, and you take 50,000 dozen of them, and you fill up a hillside. I guarantee me and Nick will limit out before you do. Promise you.
We'll sit on buckets and limit out before you do.
Of course. And we'll even kill the farm pigeons,
Yeah,
which
well,
will
I'm
even
going
be
to go
better.
out there with 1,000 coot decoys and a layout boat.
I'm going to
Coot
sit,
decoys
I'm gonna
would be
sit with
better
you
than
because
full-body
God, I want
mallards.
to smash coots. I always thought it'd be cool to
They're not that good. They
go
taste
out
like
and
shit.
smash a bunch of coots because they ban the shit out of them, I heard. And just be like, yeah, okay, me and you were sitting there, and I'm like, hey, Nick, here comes a coot. You're like, fucking, I'm going to shoot the coot, and then I shoot the coot, and it's banded. And then here comes another coot. Bet you shoot that coot.
I bet I do. Too. And you can do 15 per day.
15 per day.
So 3
yeah.
guys can go get 45
So
coots
how
and
come
take
you
your
don't?
odds.
How come you don't like it? Because they're fishy or what?
Yeah, they have. I mean, there's definitely, you could doctor them up. And I'm a proponent of eating wild game. I mean, I know how to cook it. I know a lot of people, that I don't like eating geese. It tastes like shit. The whole
It
recipe
is, I don't know
of
how you
pulling
cook
the
it,
belt and, eat
100%
the
how you
belt
cook
and all
it.
that shit.
Yeah. The boot.
No,
yeah,
so I know
same
how to
thing.
take care of wild game. With that said, I shot some coots and I brought them almost, did a side-by-side taste test of like a mallard versus coot. And they do have a fishy taste to them and not in a good way.
Oh,
So
okay.
Gumbo.
and I pretty much, and so I did it very basic. It's like, a medium rare sear with the, garlic, infused butter. I want to know what the meat tastes like, so I know what I have to do it in the future. So if I shoot a coot in the future, which I'm sure I will, the next time I eat coot, there's going to be a lot more seasoning going on. There's going to be some hot sauce. There's going to be some stuff to break down, cover up that. I mean, it just does have a very strong, not all that pleasant taste to it.
Right.
It's definitely no mallard. I mean, I like mallards.
Man,
And
I genuinely like mallards.
legitimately enjoy most waterfall.
Oh, I
and
do
I
too.
can't
Teal?
say that I enjoy it.
Dude, Turkey Man's girl makes teal, Amanda. Oh, my God.
I
dude,
can't
it's
say I enjoyed the
freaking
coot.
good.
The coot
Now
was
me
not
and Turkey
like, ooh.
argue about who's taking the teal or not.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, they're
Well,
good.
it is
like-
his wife.
Well, no, that's not what I mean.
also
Like,
did
I
that.
cook it myself, too. But Turkey's like, well, Amanda will make it. I'm like, all right, you can hear it.
I also
have
did
them.
a side-by-side because, you get the canvasbacks, King of the Ducks. That was one of all the, back in the market hunting days, that's what the restaurants in New York wanted was the canvasbacks. So we shot some canvasbacks and we shot some mallards in the same hunt. So I'm like, I'm going to do a side-by-side. And I plucked them and I roasted them whole. Treated them exactly the same. and it's legit. Canvasbacks are awesome.
Are they? That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a
I
reason
haven't-
they win
good.
for the most money.
They're
I
good.
haven't
Market
killed that
money
many
day.
canvasbacks
cans are
because
good.
it's so cold.
Was that well? Thing with like that. Jesus God,
and
Jesus Christ, you're
it's
such
dry.
a pussy.
It's dry land, dude. I like hunting dry land. Canvasbacks is all water. I'm not about to die to go
as
try
divers,
to get a
as diving
flicking
ducks
deck.
go, the reason they taste better than most diving ducks is they mostly eat aquatic
Oh, yeah?
vegetation. They're not eating.
Diver hunting's fun.
It's
though.
so fun.
It is
and
fun.
it'll
so
challenge your wing
fun.
shooting skills.
Hey, speaking
big
of
time.
that, Phil Schmidt said too, like, oh, you want to have the best diver hunt of your life? Put out 30 full-body goose decoys or more.
Floaters,
Yeah,
Because
because
oh,
it's,
goose decoys
because
is
it's
the
basically
best.
black and white, and they come screaming in.
yeah.
And me and my buddy Andy Hansen did that one time. We had golden eyes, we had buffalo heads. Dude, that one time we had clients, and there was 3 clients, me and Andy and my buddy Travis, and you could hear them like coming in. You know, we're like, hey, it's golden eyes, here they come,
Goldies.
and there was like 15 of them, and like 9 of them were gorgeous drakes. And I looked at the clients and go,
tough.
you guys don't miss. We killed one head.
Don't
One. yeah, we smashed. I could barely feel my fingers. I was like, God damn it.
One time Phil Schmidt called me. He goes, dude, I just found bufflehead heaven.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And he goes, I'm going to hunt it tomorrow. And I called him. I was like, how'd you do? 6-man limited bufflehead. So I was like, nice. He's like, I used my bufflehead spread. It's like, what do you mean? He's like,
Honker decoy.
40 Bigfoot floaters.
Yeah, exactly.
perfect.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
That Phil Schmidt guy that we're talking about, like, me and Nick both give credit, so much of our success credit to him, because he was like our sensei, like our scientist, and we were both a part of his class. He basically taught us. He taught us the grass hide. Like, holy shit, this grass hide thing works. You know, go in a chisel plowed field. Don't dig in. Don't try to spray paint your blind black.
Migrator Day expert.
Migrator Day expert, dude. Like, he changed, and that's why I think me and Nick are such good friends, because we'll go traveling anywhere, and we'll be like, Nick, let's do this, this, and this. Nick's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, fuck yeah, let's
my
do it.
buddy
You know?
Joel and I are that way with fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times we don't even have like a meeting. We just go and we know what each other's doing, and we're in
Right.
generally we're in agreement. We have arguments once in a while, but we're
Well, of course,
generally
yeah.
in agreement
Oh.
like of what we're gonna do.
And definitely there's times, a lot of times on trips when I just want to be a fucking asshole. I'm like, no, Joe, we're not going to do it that
dude.
way.
Nick's can be very frustrating. Nick's one of the guys where, like, we'll be in a hotel room out of wherever, you know what I mean? And your alarm goes off, you know, and you're like, oh, man, I'm just going to hit the 3-minute, 5-minute snooze button. Nick, lights on, boys. Straight lights, and you're laying there like, Nick, what the fuck, you fucking asshole. I just told this story today on the way back to Minneapolis. We were in Oklahoma, and Nick got wasted. And we got to be up at like 4:30 in the morning, right? And we're running clients. These are our clients. You know, we're sharing the same room with my cameraman, Alec Schumacher, who's a fucking awesome dude. But anyways, and Nick gets drunk. I drank a little. Alec drank a little, you know. So our alarm goes off. We don't flip the lights on. We just take our phones. We get dressed casually, you know. I can still see. And I look at Nick. Nick's sleeping. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to leave Nick, you know. And we go and eat breakfast. Miss Cheryl makes dynamite breakfast. And we eat. I go back in the room. I'm fully dressed. We pack the trucks. I go back in the room. Nick's still sleeping. He's got his earplugs in. He hasn't moved since I think he fell asleep in that position, you know. And finally, I kick the bed. I go, Nick! And I finally wake him up, and he's like, what? I go, do you want to hunt or what? And he goes, yeah, I think I'd like to hunt. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
So now it's like 5:30. I've been up for an hour, you know, getting everything ready, and Nick's like, all right, he gets dressed, and we jump in the truck, and we drive out there, and Nick's hungover, and I go, Nick, dude, there's 10 guys out there. All we're doing is taking the decoys out of the trailer, putting it in a little caddy trailer to take it down the railroad tracks. You know, you don't got to, I'm being a good buddy, dude. You just stay in here, kind of breathe a little bit, and you'll be fine, you know. I mean, he's not like puking or anything, but you could tell I've been there, you know, like, I don't want to do this. And it's like, Nick, you're just
tired.
going to,
You're tired more than anything.
you're just going to be another body, right? So
Yeah.
we throw everything in there, and I'm like, Nick, you can come out, you know, or whatever, you know, or he met us. We hunt that day. I'm dead tired. I just woke up at 4:30. I go and lay in bed. It's pitch black in there, and I pass out. Nick walks in, flicks the light on. And I remember looking back, I go, Nick, what the fuck, dude? What is your problem? Why are you flicking the fucking light on? Use your phone. I need to get a lighter. I was like, dude, why don't you just use your phone, you know? And he goes, dude, next year, me and you got to get different rooms. It's ridiculous how much you sleep. And I go, motherfucker, I woke up at 4:30 in the fucking morning, and I let you sleep, and I let you do all this. And he's just like, whatever.
That morning, though, I
Whatever.
do remember like telling you I love you.
Yeah.
At some point,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know what I'm
You
doing.
were I love you drunk?
I know I wasn't I love you drunk, but I knew what the fuck I was doing, as in being a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
waking up
And
late.
I allowed it. Like, I get it, dude.
God.
And then we all got out of the truck. We're putting on our bibs. We're putting on our muck boots. And then Joe and everybody else dispersed to go help. And I just went back in the cab of the truck, closed the door, and started sleeping again.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
And
that's
then
so funny.
the door flung open. It was like 30 fucking mile-an-hour winds. It was 20 degrees cold
Yeah.
outside.
You don't wanna go.
And I feel like a piece of shit. And I feel like Joe's about to scold me for being a piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I'm getting up now. And he goes, Nick, just take a minute. There's plenty of guys out here to help. You should just sleep if you need a little extra sleep. I was like, I love you, Joe.
Just hang in there.
Oh, your
Come to find
relationship
out,
went to the L.
flicks the goddamn light on. I about fucking
God.
kicked my feet straight up, landed on my feet and double legged you. Listen here, motherfucker. Touch that goddamn light switch again. I promise you.
Oklahoma, we
Dude,
get,
I
we get
want
rowdy
you to
in
touch that
Oklahoma.
light switch.
Yeah.
I
Bracken
fucking
ball?
dare you.
Bracken ball's so fun.
Bracken ball's so fun,
What
man.
the fuck is Bracken ball?
Bracken ball's a game we invented in Oklahoma.
Yeah, so we had beanbag boards, but it was like, we're not very good at beanbags. and it's
And there
loud.
was no bean bags.
Oh yeah, well, that too. I'm bad at two things: basketball and beanbags. So we put the boards up. Yeah, we realized there wasn't any beanbags, but I was like, "Where's this tennis ball?"
We had a tennis ball.
Yeah, and that was during
Oh my
the time.
God, that'd be tough.
It's tough, dude. But
Yeah.
Nick's good. I'm the best. I'm kidding. Alex Schumacher, who I was talking about, he's the best, dude. He's fucking fire.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can bounce it as many times as you want, and you just got to make it in the hole. It's really hard.
If somebody makes it in the hole, they win the round, best out of 3.
Yeah.
But
You get a rebut hole.
You get three rebut holes.
Yeah, yeah.
Rebut hole.
Or a rebuttal or
Rebuttal.
butthole or whatever.
We call it rebut hole.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
then
I bet that Kansas City waiter would have killed at this game.
but then if you hit your rebuttal, the round keeps going. God, this shit got intense.
I bet he said that too. Woo. Bobbin Brewing Co. Yeah,
We've
but
done some other fucked up shit in Oklahoma too.
Oh,
Dude, you
no.
remember how many bobcats that we
I'm
saw?
not ready for that story. I'm not ready for that story.
Joe just gave Nick the cut. No,
Dude,
not
We're not telling that.
I had the
the
craziest
hand under the chin sign.
the
This is
craziest
universal.
Benelli
Don't
click.
take- don't
Me and Chase
tell
Renville.
the story.
Me and Chase Renville were scouting one night, and we'd never brought our shotguns scouting, and we were seeing these bobcats every night.
Oh
Bobcats.
yeah.
And then I had the worst Benelli click ever. Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, "There's a bobcat." Me and Chase are scouting. We had the M2 with.
And I thought they were like raccoons. You could just shoot them.
Wait,
You can.
The Benelli
No, you
click.
need no,
are
no,
they,
no.
But-
You need tags. Dude.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fur bearer license. We got that shit with our license.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. We
yeah,
did.
yeah. So you can shoot bobcat, whatever. And like we bought it as soon as we seen, like, dude, we were seeing 5 bobcats a night scouting.
know.
So we
I
bought
know.
this fur bearer license, and then we are driving around and Chase like, there's one, and they look like little kitties on the
Oh, yeah.
road.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
small.
Yeah. Cute
They're-
as fuck.
They're super cute.
They are cute.
And
They're
I go
cool
trudging
looking.
through the grass. I got the M2, and that fucker, I can hear him kind of like making his way through the grass. I'm following him. He's on the corner of a field, just a little strip of grass. Bang! He jumps out into the field. I mount the shotgun up on him. I got a goose load. He's about 20 yards away. Benelli click.
Clink.
Why do you call it the Benelli click? Are they known for not firing?
If the bolt isn't totally closed on the
Totally closed,
Benelli,
yeah.
it'll click.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
The-
Because that little black thing's, you got to be all the way up.
And
But
we were
sometimes
driving around with a shotgun.
It'll be all the way down, and you can't.
And so
shoot
there
it.
wasn't one in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had gotten out of the truck excitedly, I had improperly closed the chamber and done it too soft. It wasn't my gun. I have
Yeah.
an M2, but
Yeah.
sometimes you got to give them a little extra oomph.
Yeah, I have a Vinci and I really like it. There's two
Vincis
things
are
I
nice
don't
guns.
like
They
about
come up
it.
really good.
There's one, you can't find an extended mag for them anymore. You
Yeah.
gotta basically component them things, which I need to get. I need to order that before.
Yeah.
I need to order that now so I have it for next Nogu season. And 2, I can't shoot I used to like shooting Kents. They did great out of my 870.
I fucking hate Kents. They're too slow.
Oh,
I've
fuck,
never
they're
done good
dirty.
with Kents.
They're dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
I only do 1400 now or less.
Yeah,
when
do
I
15,
run
50.
Kents out of the Vinci, I have to clean it like every
Really?
8 shots.
You should try
The
1400
good
or
thing,
less.
the good thing
Kill harder, dude.
Too slow.
about
Kill
18
harder.
about the Vinci is I can completely tear that thing down in under 2 minutes. That's the good thing about
2 minutes. That's slow for a Vinci.
Well,
Those Vinci's
I
pop
just
apart
bought
like
it,
clink,
bro.
clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, I just bought it.
Right,
I'm
right.
getting better, but
I'm not that good at cleaning my gun either. I don't think I've cleaned my gun for like 2 seasons.
Well, that was me in my 870. I never cleaned it. In fact, the time that
Well,
I got
870 is a dynamite
I got
gun.
shamed into cleaning it, then it started jamming.
Yeah. You know what else is a really good gun? The Benelli Nova. You can use that thing as a paddle.
I heard it's not as good as anymore.
Oh, well, maybe.
Well,
Like, I heard it
maybe.
went 870 Express style, and they kind of cheapened it up or some shit.
Dude, I know a lot of
Well,
guys that have
that
had
would
them for
be
like
the-
10,
what's
15
the-
years.
my
And they
dad-
grind
My
with
dad
them.
bought one the year it came out. The fucking thing's a soldier.
What's the knockoff
Yeah.
Benelli? The Stoger.
Frankies and Stogers.
Frankies, yeah,
Frankie and
Frankie. Yeah, I was
Stoker.
thinking
Both.
Frankie.
Stoger.
Yeah.
So Stoger, I have a Stoger pump, and I don't like that one either.
Right.
They just don't use. I mean, they have the same things, but they must use cheaper components because they're just not as good as
Yeah.
the
870
actual Benellis.
Wingmasters still
Dude,
kick ass.
870s are awesome. Dude, I
But they're
love
also
my
like
870.
$700. They're also like $700-800. And
I shoot a Benelli
I
on too,
bought
man.
my
I've never
870
had
as
problems.
an emergency purchase in Bismarck, North Dakota. I was out there for work, and then I was like stranded out there for the weekend during the spring snow goose season. And my buddy swore to me, he's like, I got guns you can use, so I didn't bring mine. I'm like, sweet. Well, when it came time to actually go get one of his guns, this nephew had this one, this nephew had this one. He couldn't find his keys to this gun safe, and it was running out of time. I'm like, listen, if I leave now, I can get to Bismarck,
Yeah, and get a gun.
and the Shields closes at what I can get there. And I don't care if it's a single shot. I'm going hunting this weekend.
Right.
So I went down there, and it was like my decisions were between two guns. One was like an old single shot, fixed choke, full choke, whatever. And then this was this 870, and it was like $210 used or whatever, $220. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I'll take that, and I'm gonna take that ghillie suit. Cause I didn't have anything. I didn't have any camo. I had nothing.
Right.
Bought a ghillie suit, a few boxes of ammo, and that 870. And I went out.
Let's go.
And I ended up getting into a decent pass shoot. And I have the worst luck when it comes to pass shooting. I take my time. I creep into a good spot. I use the wind, all stuff, and this has happened to me like 5 times. Right when I get into position, somebody jumps it on the opposite side.
Oh, no. And they
Every
don't come right at
fucking
you?
time. And it's like, why are you even jumping it from that side? It's the wind is totally wrong for that. Why
Right.
the fuck are you doing that? But it happens to me all the time. Anyways, the same thing happened. So they jump it, everything leaves, but as they're coming over, I'm like, if they're close enough, I'm going to take some passing shots at these. I pull up, boom, boom, boom. 3 shots, 3 birds fall.
Nice.
So I go to get them, but one's crippled. It's a foot race. I get out there, I'm
Right.
chasing after that one. I pick up the one, fucking leg band.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Worth
I
it.
set that one down because I thought it was stone dead. Go after the other
Oh,
one, pick the blue.
no.
That one's dead. I finally shoot the one that's actually running. I grab that. As I'm walking back up to the first one that was leg banded,
Yeah, gone.
it gets up and it's flying like 2 feet off the ground.
Done.
Both geese shoulder the gun,
Yeah.
boom, pillowcased it. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God.
That was close.
Fucking thing almost got away.
That was close.
One time
Yeah.
I almost lost a band in a really stupid way. I was doing a bunch of really stupid stuff this day. We were pigeon hunting.
Never. I don't believe it.
We were pigeon hunting.
So uncharacteristic.
We were pigeon hunting.
How high
It was
were you?
during goose hunting.
He was just sitting in his car. He's pretty low.
We goose hunted a spot one day down in Hastings. There was a lot of pigeons feeding there that day too, and I was like, not that many geese. I was like, let's pigeon hunt this tomorrow. Talked to the landowners. They're like, sure, go ahead. Weather completely changed. The pigeon hunting wasn't that good. We killed like 10, 15 pigeons. My brother walks around the farm. He goes, there's this gorgeous white pigeon chilling up on the roof of that barn. And this is like December, like late season goose hunting style. Super cold that day. And I go, all right. I'm going to go take a look at it real quick. He goes, just sitting up there. I couldn't get it to jump. He was trying to jump it so he could shoot it.
Sure, yeah. Ground
Goes,
pound that bitch.
It was
not on the roof.
It was on a roof. Yeah.
Blow a hole in it. Got it. Farmer's
Got
like,
him.
get the
So I go,
fuck out my
I go
property.
over there. And it's on the corner of this roof. And I was like, I see that bitch. Yeah, that fucker looks like a racing pigeon for sure. I'm like, hey, get up. Can't. I throw something at it. It gets up. It just jumps about a foot off of the roof before it was going to swoop down over the back side of it.
Bow!
Bang!
Yeah.
I got it.
Nice.
Killed it. And I was like, and it was dead up on the roof. I could tell. It
Oh,
was a
shit.
kill shot. And I was like,
Yep.
all right. So this is like a fucking sheet metal
Oh, yeah.
angled barn.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I going to get up there to get this pigeon that I highly suspect is banded?
Right.
I'm like, motherfucker,
You won't be
okay.
able to sleep if you don't
Right,
check
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right.
God
So I
damn it.
I go walking around the barn area, or the farm area. I find this ladder. It's not tall enough to get on the roof. But if I set it on a calf pen, that was
Yeah.
next to the building, I could get up there. So I set it on this calf pen. I jumped up there. I jumped on the roof. The first thing that happened is I slid 3 feet towards the edge.
Oh, perfect.
Like, oh, God.
Yeah, right.
Like the snow broke away avalanche style.
Yeah.
Dude, I took the next, 45 minutes to scoot my ass across that roof, and it was across... Actually, it wasn't on the building I climbed up on, which I thought it was.
Oh, there's a gap.
There was a gap, 2 feet gap.
Jason Bourne this shit.
Yeah, right.
And I reach my arm across this gap, dude, and I'm my fingertips barely, and I can see it's banded now too. And I'm like,
now you gotta get it.
I grab this pigeon, I got it. I'm on the roof. I slide down another foot,
Oh shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm about to break my legs for this fucking banded pigeon.
Fucking banded.
And I grab this pigeon, and I'm go,
It's worth it.
and I start yelling, "Help!" Because I need Tom and Colton now. I can't get off this roof.
You guys.
And then I took the pigeon and I just threw it off the roof. I threw it down to where I'd grab it later. And I was like, now a cat's gonna get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
There was cats going
Cats
around.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
cats
yeah.
everywhere. I was like, oh god damn it, hurry up. Tom and Colton heard me screaming. They come running over. I had to scoop. I almost fucking died trying to get
Oh
that
my
pigeon.
God.
It's crazy. Yeah, we finding bands. We were hunting a wheat field. No, this is 6-7 years ago, and I invited them. I went and leased this wheat field. Wheat field had 300 geese in it. Opening morning, invited a bunch of buddies, and we go out there and we're killing geese in the decoys, but we're also kind of pass shooting them. You know what I mean? And my buddy Sam was hunting right across the road, and he only had 3 buddies there. And he's like, yeah, we limited out. Every goose was right in front of us. We picked them all up. We didn't have any sailors or nothing, right? And I'm like, so we end up leaving to go look at the roost, and I come back, and that wheat field across the road, right on this hill, my buddy Sam was on the other side of that hill. Right on this hill, there's this black bird. And I was like, God, that looks like a goose. Put the binos up. I'm like, yeah, that's a dead goose over there. But I'm pretty sure Sam's not in there anymore. So I called him. He's like, yeah, no, we killed all our birds and we left. I was like, okay. And then my buddy Jordan pulls up, and he's like, don't that look like a dead goose out there? I was like, yeah, it fucking does. So I slam it in park. I go walking out there. I'm 100 yards away. I'm like, yeah, that's a goose. And we didn't kill any bands that day. And we killed I think we limited. No, we didn't. I think we were 5 short. But I was like, holy shit. I pick it up, banded.
Fuck.
And the band has a BB in it that looks like we shot it from a distance.
Wow.
So it got hit, and it went over the road and died. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my buddy Sam went to see it.
Sure.
He was like, who's fucking banded? You know what I mean? So I kept that motherfucker too. and when we banded those birds when was that? Wednesday. On Wednesday, 2 days ago. We banded those birds, and my buddy Brian Hansen was like, yeah, dude, I got to get back. He offered to drive, so I was like, go ahead and drive. And he's like, oh, I got to get back. He's got 2 kids. He's like, oh, we're going to see Toy Story 4. I was like, all right, cool. And we end up going by where we just banded them at that Walmart thing, and you can see 200 geese just sitting in the pond. They're all banded now. And there's a dead goose on the side of the road. And he goes, what is that, a raccoon? I look, and I'm like, no, I can see the head sticking. I'm like, no, it's a goose. And it's an adult goose, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, let's pull over and band or no band that roadkill motherfucker. And he's like, no, dude, I got to get to Toy Story 2. Fucking Buzz Lightyear and Woody are more important, I guess. So I put it on my Snapchat hey, you guys. Because a lot of people snap me hey, I know where you're banding them birds. And I'm like, oh, well, right where I was banding them in the beginning of the day, there's a dead bird right on the side of the highway right there. Somebody band or no band it. All of a sudden, 10 minutes later, my phone's like, Joe, I'm here. Let's band or no band it. Fucking banded. I was so mad at Brian. I was mad at Brian.
Were you mad? Dude,
I stared at him the whole time. For 10 minutes straight,
Even
just
the
stared
look.
at him. No expression.
There's quite a few dead birds I find in the cities, in the spring. Lots of roadkill, lots of
roadkill in
lots
the
of birds
spring,
get Drake mallards flying too low across the
Yeah,
highway.
get
Bang,
crushed.
they get
trying
crushed.
to get to one side of the road pond to the
Yep,
other side of the
yep.
road pond.
honestly,
And I check them all. I've never found a dead one.
I've passed
Or a
band.
Not a band.
I've passed a lot of them, and it's just because it's so busy traffic. You're a rush hour on the way home. It's it's such a pain in the dick.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
to
yeah.
mention, not really all that safe for me to check that. But
Yeah.
I really want to check it, but I was
Right.
I do anyways.
I don't, and it has whatever. But I did find a dead pelican this year, and I know they banned the shit out of those.
Yeah,
but
they do.
It wasn't banded.
It wasn't?
I was very disappointed because that was very stinky.
No,
Very
dude,
stinky.
even when pelicans are alive, god damn it, they
Yeah.
smell.
Oh yeah.
Smell so
Fish
bad.
eating, fish eaters.
But
What other kind of
something
stories
about-
should we tell?
I don't know, man. Now that we're drinking, we can get in some wild shit.
Always
Yeah,
have.
hey, you remember when we were in Illinois and it was a guy who looked exactly like you, smoking weed, and another buddy of ours. And we
We're in the hotel room because
we were in the hotel room, and it was a hotel room that's like right to the parking lot. Like there's no balcony, nothing. You know, it's just open the door, you're in the parking lot.
right.
You know, and there's nobody else next to us because my buddy Turkey Man, this is back when we were in Pekin, my buddy Turkey Man knew the lady who was a manager, and she gave us $20 rooms.
Right.
So we're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, and it was right next to a bar, so we drank, went back, and
That guy who looked like me was smoking.
yeah. And that guy who looked like our friend was in there smoking. And we had the door shut. And all of a sudden, like, you just hear, doosh, 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 doosh. And I was right by the door, so I got up. We were talking, laughing. I opened the door. It's some lady. You know, I can smell that like a mile down. And I just went, whack! I just slammed the door in her face. Shut the fuck up! And we just died laughing. And we thought it was so funny, but then we were like, she's going to call the cops.
Yeah, we gotta roll.
Yeah.
I mean, me and that guy that looks like Nick.
Yeah.
Roll.
So I told Nick and my other buddy to tell those guys that weren't us to get that weed out of there, and we like hit it, or they hit it under the trailer tire. The cops never came.
Dude, I really like how me and Joe's personality mesh up because like I'm a very nice gentlemanly type fella, and Joe will say whatever the fuck is on his mind. And there's this one time we were in North Dakota. Should I tell this story?
Which one?
Just tell it. Fuck it. Go.
All right.
You can edit it out.
You're in the
right?
trust tree. Nope, there's no editing.
Maybe
in
we
the
won't
Full
have
Scale
names
Outdoors
involved,
podcast.
but me and
fuck.
Joe drive out to North Dakota, and it's
Oh,
the Jay
dude,
Clark
we're
Salyer Refuge.
totally gonna say their names: Chase, Renville, and fucking Cody Nordman.
So
Yeah.
Chase,
buddy
Chase
Chase-
invited us.
Yeah, because he was going to school for taxidermy.
Yeah, and then so
And
me,
he's like,
Cody-
"There's so many geese out here, dude." And we're like,
me,
"Well, let's
Cody,
get the fuck out there."
me, Cody, and Joe
God,
get in the
that's
truck.
hilarious.
We
Yep.
drive out there, and then we brought our decoys, whatever. We meet up with Chase. He's at this taxidermy school. It's a big lodge, and so that night we had found birds that Joe had found like 60 geese in a field. They were local birds, like 60 big jumbos.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of like what
Some
we
snow's
had.
mixed in and
Yeah,
shit, yeah.
And that's kind of what we had. We went out there, ended up being a nice north wind day. We shot like two groups of those locals.
Migrators.
Yeah.
Groups of those locals. We shot 2 groups of migrating snows.
Dude, they decoyed like Canada geese. They came right
right
in.
to our boot bags
God,
on an
love
all
it.
Smoked them.
on an all dark spread, and then we also shot into 2 groups of migrating cacklers.
Yep.
So now we had about like 15 big ones, 15 snows.
That's awesome.
15,
Just a giant.
and we all shot great.
One of the biggest
Couple of
geese I've
ducks.
ever killed was part of that. It was a giant.
Dude,
Or no,
they have
the
big
snow
ones
goose.
out there.
It was a giant snow goose.
greater?
It was a greater snow goose.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
And then-
it was fucking huge.
So, dude, we just killed 45 geese.
Yeah.
Like for like 4 of us here.
Celebrating like fuck yeah,
like
dude, that was
20
a
some
great
snow,
day.
20 some snow geese. Like this.
Took
Not only did we
pictures.
kill those locals, we killed some migrators, and we even got a couple of random ducks.
Yeah.
And,
Like
and we're
4 or 5,
high fiving. We took pictures, and we're just like, God damn, that was such a great hunt, guys. And we're just standing there, and Joe was like. So, anyways, we got to talk about why the fuck you 2 slept in the same bed last night.
Yeah, so like we go into this like house, like lodge thing, right? And it's me and Nick, and Chase is living there. He's got his bed, like a king size bed in this one room. So I go in my own room. There's fucking 2 bunk beds in there. I'm on the bottom level of one bunk bed. There's a bed above me. There's a bed next to me and a bed above that one. Nick's on the couch, and then Cody and Chase slept in the same bed.
There were options.
Yeah, there was many options. You could have slept on the fucking floor. You know what I mean? No. And then we kind of Nick just starts laughing, and he's like, "Well." Chase goes, "Well, I was there first." It's like that's you guys. That's not the point. Here. And dude, these two are like.
Well, they
like,
heard your Kansas City story. They wanted
these
to get
two-
in on that action.
Yeah, these two are like tall, handsome individuals.
Very pretty men.
Yeah.
Well-
Why are you sleeping in the same fucking bed,
Wow.
fellas? Yeah.
We're not
Like,
here
yeah,
to judge.
this hunt is good, but that's not what I've been thinking about all morning.
That's so fucking random. It's like, oh, what a great hunt. High five, high. But by the way,
Yeah.
what the fuck you guys sleeping in
Dude,
the same bed?
that's exactly all it went.
Exactly. Exactly. I lost my fucking shit, dude. Oh my god. I still love that story
my
so
God.
much.
Fuck, it was funny. And not saying that they're fucking weird. I mean, they're both really cool fucking dudes. But yeah, it was just
I mean, for gay guys.
funny. Yeah. It was just a funny situation, you know.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I do think Chase had
Oh, God,
some
that's
king
funny.
size like Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah,
and
he
we
had
all-
like a big ass bed. But
whatever.
still,
Whatever.
shit.
It was hilarious how Joe had fucking
God,
brought it
that's so
up.
funny.
It's some shit I would never even think of like saying. You know what I mean? I'm just so
I probably would have
I'm
thought.
so happy that
I
Joe
probably
does
would have
them.
thought
got
the
it.
same thing.
You have
Here's
to.
the problem with me. I'm like, I throw people off a lot of times when I first meet them because I'm reserved at first, and basically what I'm doing is I'm just reading the room,
Yeah.
and I'm just getting a feel for what I can get away with and what I can't. I mean, I'm going to start pushing boundaries and crossing lines. I just need to know where your line and your boundaries are first,
Right,
so I
right,
can
yeah.
get right to it, and
Right.
then like maybe not jump over it, but
Are we gonna tell the story of
step
the
over
challenge?
it or kick
No.
it a little bit. And then, so
Hold on.
I get that a lot. Like, people are like, once they get to know me, they're like, dude, when I first met you, you didn't say a word. I thought you were this meek but now I can't shut you up and you're just an asshole. I'm like, yeah, well, I was just seeing what I could get away with,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, just trying to poke around.
So the same thing. I felt like if Joe and I were to hang out, we'll find out tonight. It could get live. 'cause
Yeah, we're gonna party
We're
tonight.
gonna party
It's gonna
tonight.
be fucking
So,
fun.
and I'm a
Hutchinson,
little scared
Minnesota's
because
gonna
I'm
be live.
46 and recovery time is tripled.
I got those Cheers pills, dude. You gotta try those Cheers
Well,
pills. They fucking work.
I don't get
man.
hangovers. This is something that I
don't really
I
either.
know.
On the
I
way,
see the doubt in your face.
Me and Nick partied last night, and we fucking.
Here's the thing.
I woke up and felt bad.
That's all right.
I saw your eyebrows, Nick, and I know you don't believe me.
That's like somebody saying I don't get high.
Yeah, all right. I can
smoke-
smoke a whole joint, and not get
Oh
high.
God, do we have to do that experiment too? I don't
have any.
I
Yes,
don't not
you said
get. I don't not get high. It just takes me more than it should. Like I will get high eventually. It takes
Yeah.
more than the normal person, and when I get high, I don't enjoy it. So it's like it's like a waste of weed.
Should we tell the traveling TSA story?
It's not for me. Yes, I don't even know what. Yes, you should.
Try to get it. You know what I mean? Like, can Nick get it past TSA?
Yeah, you can. Tell the story for sure, because here's what I've learned. TSA, the TSA,
All right.
just all they want is they want their plane to not blow up. It's
Yeah, it's not a bomb.
It's not
Yeah,
the
it's not
TSA's
bomb.
job.
I mean, it is the bomb. But
It is the bomb. It's not the TSA's job to regulate drug trafficking. It's not. If they find it, they're legally required to report it and do whatever. But that's not what
we've
they're
never
looking
tried to
for.
get drugs across. But
Wink, wink, nod.
what Nick was saying, like Joe will say anything anywhere. Nick is a lot like my cousin Josh. He smokes anywhere the fuck he wants to. Cigarettes.
Nobody cares.
Like, dude, we
Unless
go
Texas cares.
we go somewhere.
Careful in Texas.
Like,
They pulled Willie Nelson over. They fucking care in Texas.
really? God damn. But like Nick will just fucking do what he has to do wherever he has to, and people are looking at him like, Nick, you don't have like a common courtesy in your brain? He's like, huh? No, I don't. Fucking A. There's even times I gotta walk away from him like, oh, gotta get out
Clay
of here.
Hudnall.
So dumb.
Oh, the Clay Hudnall story. Where were we? We're at Rogers.
We were Rogers Sporting Goods,
Yeah, the calling contest. Where's that at? I forget.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
City.
Me and Nick were in Kansas City at the calling
Went
contest.
to Rogers. It's a great story.
Clay Hudnall and Field Hudnall are probably the nicest, genuine, most professional guys you'll ever fucking meet in your life. They're like complete opposite of me, Nick. They're super, really good dudes. And one time, me and Nick were all drunk down in Kansas at the Rogers show, and we came walking out in the parking lot to meet some dudes that looked like us that wanted to smoke a joint. So, like, we started smoking. We walked up to this truck, and this truck had like 4 pro staffers for some company or whatever, pro staffers or company owners, I think it was.
It was waterfall hunters, so we were just gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
hi.
And they were drinking. They were drunk. You know what I mean? They were drunk off alcohol. So were we. And we went up to them. And Clay
That's how you
Hudnall.
get drunk.
And Clay Hudall was sitting in the back of this vehicle, and we came up like, "Hey, dudes, what's up? You know, like, how you guys doing? You know?" And Clay right away, Clay right away, super uncomfortable. Everyone else like, "Yeah, hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
Talking
pass
to
it
us
down.
and shit. Yeah.
Those
And-
dudes who look like us were like, "You guys want something?" They're like, "No."
Yeah, no, we can't. Yeah, but we're like, all right, we're just gonna sit here and talk and hang out. And then all of a sudden, Clay was like, left, and I was like, Clay, hey. And he's like, oh man, with his accent. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, is that the Illinois? That's not the Illinois weed story, is it?
No.
No, that's the Kansas City story.
So you had on your list. You had a list.
There was
of things
another
you
time
wanted
in
to talk
Illinois.
about.
I got
What's
a good
the Illinois
I got,
weed story.
I got another good
That
Illinois.
was, I like the title, Illinois weed story.
That was the Illinois weed story.
I got
Where
another
that
Illinois-
lady came to the door, and before she could tell us to quit
That
smoking,
was the Illinois
I
weed
slammed the
story.
fucking
Okay.
door.
I got
in her
another
face.
good one though too. Like, so Turkman knows a bunch of people in Illinois, in Pekin. So
Oh god, that bar.
So no. That bar that you love. This
Yeah,
isn't that
I'll tell
story.
that story.
You tell it next.
That story is fucking crazy.
We end up at a house party.
There's gonna have to be a part 2.
The
to
rewind.
Joe
We
and
end up- we can
Jay.
cut this
We end
off.
up at a house.
No,
we
we're
end up,
good.
end
Let's
up at a
roll.
house party, and we're just hanging out, blah blah blah. And this guy comes up to me, and he's
yeah.
the owner of the house. He's like,
This
"Hey
was-
man, do you want to hit a hash oil?"
Right when wax and
Oh, God.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
was like,
oil and
yeah, I
dabs
was
came
like,
out.
Yeah, I'd take a hit of hash oil, and he goes, "All right, here." He sets me up. I take a little hit. And I got so paranoid and uncomfortable. And then he comes up to me. He's like, "You want another little hit of hash oil?" I was like, I don't want to be rude. Yes. So I do another hit of hash oil.
Every person in Illinois is a pool player. Like they're dynamite
Really?
pool player. Every little house party you go to, pool table, and people are playing it. Like people are standing around waiting and shit. So we go into this garage that I think was my buddy Jerry Lowe. I don't know if it was Jerry Lowe's, but his Turkey Man's like good friend. Or it was Big Skinny. Remember Big Skinny? He was the one that
Yeah, and then
yeah,
like
huge dude. So we were like Nick. I watched Nick do that, or the guy looked like Nick do it, and Nick's like, "Dude, I am like so paranoid high right now. Like I think I need to leave." And within like 2 minutes, I went over to Turkey like, "Hey, Nick's like uncomfortable high," which is weird. And as me and Turkey make eye contact, and I tell him that, we look over at Nick, and he's doing another hit. I'm like, what the fuck?
So this guy who is such a gracious host to give me all this hash oil, he also reaches into his pocket and he goes, "Here."
God.
He goes, "Here, take this nugget with you." He gave me a little.
Oh, yeah.
He gave me a little cannabis flower.
Oh yeah.
I put it in my pocket, and we're driving back to the
So smelly.
We
It's
were,
so
we were
stinky.
driving back to the hotel room, and I'm going, I don't know what the laws are in Illinois. I don't know if we're going to get pulled over tonight.
He gave me a nugget too, and I kept it. I had it in my pocket.
Yeah, and I take my nugget, and I just throw it right
Throw
the
it
fuck out the window. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want this on me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
You're paranoid. At
I'm
this point.
paranoid
You're
as
freaking out.
fuck, dude. Like, this guy gave me, like, way too much hash, and then he gives me a nugget that smells like a goddamn dead skunk in my pocket. And I just was like, nah, I'm not gonna get into whatever trouble happens to be in Illinois for me.
Yeah,
I
right.
just throw it right the fuck out the window. And then for like 4 days, I was like, "Joe,
The next morning,
Right.
let me get a little piece of your nugget."
Creeping on your nug.
No, dude. The next morning, I
God.
put my coat. I kept it in my coat, and I threw my coat on, and the wave of air to my coat hit Nick, and he's like, "Yeah, it smells good."
Hey.
I go, "Yeah, it was that nugget that guy gave us. Where's yours at?" And he's like, "I threw it out the window. It's too paranoid." I'm like, "Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You got to
Like,
quit
"Hey,
doing
man,
that
you think maybe we could,
Yeah,
And
split
Joe's
that
like,
up.
and Joe doesn't smoke ever. He's like gonna keep it at his house for an eternity, probably.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a
Probably.
keepsake.
I'm like, let me
Yeah.
get a little of that. He's like,
It's a
no.
souvenir. People
No,
people collect
You can't have it.
magnets.
I collect nugs.
I collect nuts. No, you'll never see me smoke when I'm sober because I get way too paranoid. But when we're drinking and shit, yeah, fuck, I'll
You know what? The
dabble in
weird
it.
thing, the very few times that I've got a high on cannabis, it makes my brain go a million miles an hour, but my mouth can't keep up. I get frustrated and I go to
it's
sleep.
Cottonmouth.
I'm
shit,
like,
yeah.
fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yep.
And then I just crash.
That's-
Makes
so-
me super talkative.
So for me,
Yeah, same way.
it's just like I tell people, it's not for me. You know what's the great thing about me? The same stupid ass jokes that I tell to
Yeah.
sober people
Yeah.
are fucking hilarious
Yeah,
to
are
people
awesome.
that are stoned. So
Yeah.
if you have a joint and you're like, you want something, like, nope, but you smoke it up because I'm going to get funnier. I don't have
right.
to do anything different, but I'm going to get funnier.
And for people listening to this podcast, if you are drinking a beer listening to this, you're worse than we are.
Oh,
I'm
it's
serious.
not even worse. Like,
That shit kills people, man.
yeah, I've covered it. Like that's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
such a weird thing, and I feel like it just gets beaten to death. But marijuana, cannabis, has only been illegal since what was it? The '60s, late '60s, I think. Was
No.
a broad sweeping psychedelic act. The
Cannabis Tax
Psychedelic
Act of the
Acts
20s.
of
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
it wasn't illegal, but you had to pay a
Well, it was
tax.
taxed, but they psilocybin, acid, like all of the it was a
That's
it was
a 1970
it was a broad,
controlled
yeah, it was a
substance
broad
act, yeah.
sweeping.
I got into some activism for a while. I know
Yeah.
a bunch of this random
So
shit.
that's kind of
Nick-
where
Nick got
that's
wild
where it
on
was.
the
But think about it though.
THC movement.
I was born in '73, so in my lifetime, basically, just past my lifetime is when it became illegal. And so people that just grow up and it just becomes a part of culture. Like drugs are bad. Okay.
Okay.
Like listen, alcohol is a drug, and I always bring
Super
this
drug.
analogy up. Like listen, if you take
Nicotine's
here we are,
a
we're
drug.
coming up the 4th of July weekend. In fact, I'm going to release this podcast Thursday, which I believe is actual 4th of July. That's when this
So
podcast
be-
is
yeah,
going to
yeah.
come out. So
Big
you're going to
enjoy it
go.
over
You're
the
going to go to a barbecue, right? And you could take a picture. You could take a selfie of you on the grill, grilling some burgers up, some hot dogs, cheers in a beer, family in the background,
Yeah, yeah.
nobody bats an eye.
No.
You swap that beer out with the joint,
A joint?
people would fucking freaking lose
you're
their
Doing it
the
mind.
around your kids.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
so irresponsible.
I am a big believer.
Did
Like, you shouldn't be
dude.
like, if you got an apartment, don't when your
I
kid's sitting on your lap. Don't
agree.
be fucking
I'm
smoking.
not saying
Or in
I'm a
your car.
proponent.
Or in
I'm
your
not,
car,
I'm
yeah.
not saying I'm for like smoking weed around your kids and doing, but I'm saying it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a mind-altering substance.
Oh, of course.
You're gonna get fucked
Heavy,
up on it.
too.
You're gonna make bad decisions. Here's the difference.
Right.
Weed makes you paranoid, right?
Right.
So you might be a little more cautious. Beer
Alcohol doesn't.
makes you 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Exactly.
Fuck it, I can do a double backflip off
Yeah,
that high
exactly.
tower. Watch this.
Point at
Hold
him, I'll
my
punch
beer.
him.
There's literally Instagram sites called Hold My Beer.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And
The
they do
important, thing
crazy dumb
is,
shit.
the important thing is to know the law. Like, a lot of people listening to this might be
Yeah.
in a state where it's absolutely legal. They can go over to the corner store
Sure.
and buy
Colorado,
some marijuana.
whatever.
Yeah.
California.
In Minnesota, it's been decriminalized since the 70s.
yeah.
You can have up to
Personal amount.
It's an ounce and a half in Minnesota, and that's about
A
100
misdemeanor. Petty misdemeanor.
petty misdemeanor, which means it's not a crime.
The speeding ticket.
It's
No, it's not.
not even a
Speeding
speeding
ticket's a
ticket?
misdemeanor. It's a seatbelt ticket,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
a petty misdemeanor.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's about 100 joints worth of weed.
That's a lot of joints.
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot
joints.
of J's, Joe.
So,
That's a lot of
I mean,
J's, Nick J.
If you're just smoking J's, like you're
Yeah,
a petty
J.
misdemeanor, you're not getting.
Hey, speaking of smoking J's, let's tell 2 more stories. I'm going to tell my rewind bar story in Pekin, Illinois, and you tell your why you got charged $200 for that cleaning fee on that car. So we were in Pekin, Illinois, hunting with my buddy Turkey Man, and
Turk.
there's this bar called the Rewind. You walk in this bar, there's one pool table, and I'm a big pool player. Like, I grew up around a pool table. Like, we go to the bar tonight, I'm gonna be playing pool and
Let's go.
shit.
Let's
It's
do it.
fucking fun.
I'm in.
But there was like
You'll crush me at bubble hockey, but I'm in a pool.
40. Speaking of that, this Bob and Bobber place, me and the owner are talking. I'm gonna buy a bubble hockey table for this place.
Michael Waddell.
Yeah, dude, what's up?
Come
still,
on, let's go.
still haven't answered my
Let's
text
go.
messages. Or not, so there's like $40 worth of quarters all the way down this place, and the music is so loud you can't even think. And Turkey's like, "This is my favorite bar," and you can't smoke cigarettes in any bars in that state. I walk in, I'm like, "Fuck, there's like 5 people smoking cigarettes in here," and Turkey's like, "This is our bar. Like, the state don't tell us what to do here. It's shut down now." But
There's people doing meth in the bathroom.
bro, I'm getting to that, dog. What the fuck?
You ruined it.
Jesus
Spoiler
Christ.
alert.
Yeah, you're walking into the fucking Batman movie and somebody yells the ending. But no, so I'm like,
Way to go, Nick.
so we walk.
God damn
So I'm
it.
like, I gotta pee. So I walk in the bathroom and the urinal is busted. That's the first thing I notice. It's like broken off,
Like,
laying on the
laying
ground,
on the floor.
in like 3 pieces. Like, God damn! And I look up and there's 2 guys with their backs turned towards me. I'm like, God, are they sharing the same shit or like peeing in it? And they turn around. The one's got a jib pipe in his mouth. I'm like, oh no, they're doing methamphetamine in the fucking bathroom.
All right.
Which, by the way, bar's closed now. And I was like, holy fuck, I love peeking. I don't like meth. I don't like meth, but I love how they get down. You know what I mean? I've seen meth one time
like
when I
the
was in
party.
like 9th grade.
Never apologize
Never
for
done it.
partying.
Yeah, but I was like, holy shit. And then we walked back
yeah.
out. But
Oh, dude, not only was the urinal busted, but the sink was ripped off the wall and set
Yeah.
onto the trash can.
yeah.
So there was no sink anymore because it was just sitting on the trash can.
Yeah, place was
These
wild.
people know how to party.
Dude,
That's
I
what I'm
think-
saying, Illinois guys
I always
fucking
said,
wild.
if people were having open sex, I don't think we would have ever got Joe to leave.
Change your address form now.
I have no idea what to say to that. Yeah.
Dude, people were smoking cigarettes, doing whatever they fucking
It's like,
wanted
God damn,
in
am
this
I in
bar.
Mexico right now?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
And you could just see a glint in Joe's eyes, like, this is the place I want to be.
Oh, my
This is
cheeks
home.
hurt.
And I was all,
God, that's
I was,
funny.
I was.
It
just-
wasn't because of the meth. Let me make that clear.
Yeah.
I have never done meth in
Me
my
either.
life.
Same here.
But-
Have no interest.
But just to see those guys openly doing it in the bathroom was like, fucking A.
Yeah. America.
Yeah, right,
America. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
Holland. Whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You guys shouldn't be doing that. You know that.
That's bad.
It's
But yeah,
very late.
But
lately.
where were you with the car that you had?
Oh shit! We rented a car one time to go to a calling contest, and somebody got that thing awfully stinky.
It was like
Did
raining.
they literally charge you a cleaning fee because it
No,
smelled
li-
like weed?
Yeah, dude.
$250.
But listen, there's a story behind it that like it was raining, so like all that moist is in the car too,
Yeah.
and they had the windows cracked, and you're just blazing a joint.
One joint.
Just seeping
Yeah.
into the
And
fabric.
then, yeah, exactly. And then
The enterprise guy called me, and he's like, I had to pick up some business customers in that car today.
Yeah.
And it reeked of marijuana. I said, no, it didn't.
Yeah. He goes, no. He goes, sir, I have to drive that car personally now for the last week because it smelled so bad of marijuana. I had to pick some people up, and it smelled so bad. And Nick goes, all right.
He goes, I'm going to charge you two. He goes, that car reeked of marijuana. I said, no, the fuck it didn't, dude. Chill out. And he goes, yes, it did, and I'm charging you $250. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. You know what?
You know what? You missed it. You had a golden opportunity to be like, dude, tell this to the guy, the rental car dude, like, dude, you're missing a golden opportunity. All you got to do, you're not marketing this right. You tell this that Snoop Dogg just rented this thing out last weekend.
Fuck, yeah.
Absolutely. And
Are we
that.
going to keep talking? We should, take a break. I got to pee. We should get beers.
Go ahead.
I got to pee, too.
Well, go ahead. Well, I got to ramble by myself. I'll do it
Well,
if I have
I mean,
to.
Let's hear your
we
freestyle
could
rap.
pause it, too.
Could, but pausing is just
And
so
edit out all
lame.
that illegal stuff.
Can't. No, that's all in. That's all in
I gotta
for sure.
pee now.
Go, man. Do
Are we
what you gotta
getting
do.
beers? We're getting
Yeah,
beers.
give
I'm
her
going to pee and
all
get
right.
beers. Ramble.
All right, I have to ramble. They're totally bailing on me. Where's the brewmaster? Is he in the house?
No, he's not. No.
Oh, god damn. Because I do a thing called a flight companion for this podcast. It's separate from my outdoors hunting and fishing podcast. But I'll go to a brewery, and then I'll sit down with, it would be just like this. I would have two people from the outdoor industry, myself, and then the brewmaster, and then we'll talk about, the beers, how you built, what goes into the beers, the different kinds of beers. And we'll do a flight. We'll all taste the flight. We'll give our opinions of the flight. Just did one at Bigwood Brewery. It was chaos, like I expected it to be, but it was a smashing success, too. It was really awesome. And I kind of just want to keep doing that. So in the future, if we can come back and do another podcast, if we can line up the
Before you
brewmaster.
go, talk to Dan.
Okay, Dan.
Dan is he's the owner.
Okay, Dan's the owner.
Main owner, but then the brewmaster is part owner, and then the guy owns
Okay.
the
Oh, is he a brewmaster too? Is he?
Well, he brews beer,
Okay.
but he's not the brewmaster here. He
Gotcha.
does the
Okay,
day-to-day
yeah,
functions.
yeah.
But he started with Lane. Lane's his name, the brewmaster.
Lane's the brewmaster. All right.
And they started brewing together. That's how they got to
Yeah, because this Bobbing Bobber is the perfect name for a brewery for the Full Scale Outdoors podcast. It's actually these cats don't fish. I fish like crazy, but they don't fish. But whatever, it doesn't matter. No, so we'll have to set something up in the future.
Dan would be good too because Dan knows everything that goes in every beer too.
And is he an outdoors person?
He likes fish.
That's all he likes fish. That's all we need. So we'll have common ground because in between beers that we're trying, then we just talk whatever comes up. So absolutely, we'll set something up. Maybe we'll hit it in the fall or somewhere. All right, good talking to you. So I'm left all alone right now by myself. Thank God for the waiter, if that's what he's called, because both Nick and Joe have weak bladders. But I can't shame them too bad because they're going to get me beer. Although I didn't say what beer I'm going to get, so I guess I'm just going to be at the whim of whatever the fuck they're going to go. But this isn't an official flight companion, but I kind of feel compelled to tell you what they have here. So we're at Hutchinson, Minnesota, a place called the Bobbing Bobber. What a great fucking name for a brewery. And there's 16, technically 17 things on the list here. It's pretty awesome. And everything from porters to Kolsch, brown ales, cream ales.
What's up? I'm back.
Ales, cold pressed coffees. I have so far tried a Hefeweizen. It's called Here Fishy Fishy. It's infused with apricots. Very apricot-y. Everybody with a girlfriend is going to love it because they'll definitely drink it. And then what's the other thing I had?
This is my second one of this one.
It's the Intenda Face, which is a cream ale. That's really good. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's 5.3%.
Joe, what story did you want to tell?
And then I had
Hold
one
on,
other one. I don't remember what I had.
Bobbing
You
Brewer.
guys are drinking something pink. What in the goddamn fuck?
Sour.
Is that pink or is that
I
purple?
would call it like a
Well, it's
reddish.
Reddish.
What's called blood red? That's not gay. Let's go with that. What is it?
I don't know. It's the sour one right here.
Puckered Perch, Berliner Weiss.
It's my
Kettle
second one. It's not
Sour.
bad.
You guys like sours?
Sure.
That's like a unique taste. I'm okay.
Some of them
with
are
sours.
terrible.
I'm not like a big beer guy. We'll go we have 200
I love beer.
beers on tap.
I love all beers.
I'm like, fuck yeah, you got Busch Light.
dude,
Can I get a Crown
tell me
Coke,
that.
dog?
can't be friends if you're drinking Busch Light.
IPA gives you diarrhea. But no, yeah. So, anyways, let's tell these stories and get the fuck out of here and go do stuff.
What are we going to do? We're just going to get crazy. I thought you said there was a band here, but there's a band somewhere else.
Yeah, there's a
Are
band
they going to
at
let me sing?
Main Street Sports Bar. Yeah, absolutely. It depends
Sing,
on how
bro.
aggressive you are. You can get that mic for sure.
I got to throw 20 at him? What do I got to do?
Let's double leg him. He's probably a hippie. No, it's my buddy DJ
What kind of
Full.
music?
It's my buddy DJ Fulfill, so it'll be rap music.
Rap?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not a band. It's a
No,
DJ.
I thought it was a band, but it is a DJ. My buddy DJ Fulfill. He's a good dude. I know him personally. He's a cool guy.
So
But,
I'm going to be out of my element because I'm so not into the rap.
Yeah, you'll be
Unless
all
they're
right.
going to play Beastie Boys and Kid Rock. Other than that,
He might.
wow.
Old fucker.
He might.
I know. I'm fucking ancient.
So anyways, yeah, Nick, we fucking been all over the place, and we usually get hotels and shit, right? But the last 3-4 times,
Never do we get a spot. In North Dakota, you're saying like we
No.
never get hotels in North Dakota.
no, we never get into hotels in North Dakota. Everywhere else we go, Kansas, this place, this state, we get a hotel room and hang out, or like we have a place to stay. North Dakota, you go there, you find a giant feed of birds, and the closest town with a hotel is like an hour away. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So me and Nick have a strategy. 100% of the time, we're at 100% right now.
Success,
It works.
yeah.
It's success. It works. We go to the bar, get a drink, sit there, fuck around like the local bar in this little town of 1,000, 300, whatever. We get a drink and we'll hang out and be like, hey, any of you guys got like an extra house or anything and anywhere for us to stay? And that one time, the guy goes, yeah, I got a place you guys can stay at. Give me $20 each. You guys can stay. I got 2 spare bedrooms upstairs. I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck yeah. So we follow this strange-ass old man, and this was like 6 in the afternoon, so he's not drunk yet. But
He was by an axe
we
murderer.
gave him that $40, and he shows us this house. He's like, my room's downstairs. Your rooms are upstairs. I'm like, all right. So me and Nick go upstairs, and I'm dead tired because we just drove all through the fucking night.
We were snow goose hunting too. I mean, we were
Yeah.
setting decoys and
Yep. So I go in this room, and it's this like dollhouse room where like there's this creepy little corner attic door, and I slept with my shotgun. Seriously, I had my shotgun loaded to the tubes, and I was like, I slept for like maybe an hour or two, but there's a reason. And I was like laying there like, oh my fucking god, this room's creepy as shit. And like every step you take, it was like, and Nick was in the other room, and he was right across the hall. All of a sudden, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you hear the door rip open, the front door rip open, slam shut. I'm like, oh, fucking old man. Fucking guys here, and his room's downstairs. He said, you hear just
Up the stairs.
up the stairs.
yeah, and I'm like, oh my
Joe
fucking
texted
god.
me. Did
Yeah.
you hear that? And
Yeah.
I said, we're going to die.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, Nick's gonna die. I'm ready right here. Dude. Like,
I had
you
my
come in that
shotgun-
door,
I had my shotgun
I'll
in
fucking
bed too.
smoke you. Yeah. So anyways, he goes past our rooms into this third room that I didn't really know about, and you hear the TV come on like, and he just starts playing this TV, and he just goes, he drank beers till like 4 in the morning with this
Holy
blazing
shit.
TV, and we're
With
like,
our
what?
$40.
With our $40, he probably
Yeah.
went back to the bar and got
right.
fucked up. And we're like, holy shit.
And then bought some to bring home.
Right.
Like, we didn't know he was the town
Roadies.
drunk.
yeah, we did.
He was the town drunk.
Yeah.
Hot tip in North Dakota: everybody living in this small town is a town drunk. There is no
Sure, yeah,
there is
I would
no
be too.
one town
Fuck.
drunk.
What are we gonna do
In
today?
North
We're gonna
Dakota.
go back to the bar.
Listen, there ain't nothing to do out there.
So, anyways, like a year later, I don't know where we were. I don't know what we were hunting. Well, I mean, obviously geese, but I don't know if it's snows or Canadas or what. We go back to this area, not the same area, like a different little town, and we're like, let's just do what we did last time. We'll just go to the bar, have a few drinks. If we got to sleep in the fucking truck, we'll sleep in the truck, whatever. So we go there, and there's like 2 bartenders. The one bartender's fucking drunk, and there's like 2 guys there, and one guy's really old. I'm like, hey, would you guys, any of you guys like have an extra house or room? Because a lot of them, they have houses for like pheasant hunters and shit, or they just
Yeah,
have an extra
right.
house because it's $5,000 for a fucking 19-bedroom house there. So we're like, well, and they're like, the bartender goes, no, we don't. I'm like, all right. So me and Nick are sitting there drinking, and I'm like, anybody play pool? And that old guy was like the town pool shark. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, let's play. Yeah, I'll play you. And dude, you put this is how cool North Dakota is. Here it's $1.50. I've
Yeah.
been places where pool is $2.50.
Yep.
Like I said, I play pool. You take the quarter, you turn it sideways, you drop it in sideways, and you slide it in. It's only a quarter.
Oh wow.
I was like, fuck, this place is
Excellent.
cool. So me and him were playing pool, and that bartender must have been watching us, kind of like scoping us out. And he goes, you guys looking for a place to stay? Me and Nick are like, yeah, we are. He's like, I actually have a house, a spare house for pheasant hunters. And if you guys want to stay there, you can. And that drunk bartender comes up, he goes, everybody that goes there dies. Swear to God, dude, right? And me and Nick laugh, and we look at each other, and we look back at him. He's not smiling, and me and Nick quit smiling also, like, what? Yeah, and the guy that owns the house goes, they were old. And it's
my God.
fucking
That's
no way. Me and Nick are
hilarious.
about to fucking stay in this creepy-ass haunted house. But,
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, we ended up,
God, I hate to cut this short. My battery light's blinking on me.
yeah, fuck it.
So
Let's
let's wrap
go.
this shit up. Let's go party.
Let's do it.
Quick, Joe, you got a lot of shit going on. You've already started
I
taking
do.
bookings for this fall.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Fergus Falls, Minnesota. We leased 2 new spots that are probably the best spots in Fergus Falls. Thousands and thousands and thousands of geese, heated pits, a lot of leg bands, $150 per person per day. That's cheap. You're not gonna. I mean, honestly, it's the best goose hunt in the world.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there's times I'm a guide, so I can't promise we're gonna limit
Yeah,
out.
well, you can.
But there's times where I damn near can 16-man limit type of shit. We
Yeah.
got 3-4 different pits. You might not be hunting with me personally, but if you guys get a hotel room, we
We
can go.
have to do a podcast from the pit.
We can go party and all that shit afterwards. Go out to eat.
How could we
Yada,
do a
yada,
podcast
yada, yada.
from the pit, man?
We get interrupted
Easy.
too
This
much.
thing
We
will
would.
fit. That's
You know what I mean?
fine. That's
You got a
just gonna
goose call
drive
every
even
4 minutes.
That
Right.
much more.
$150 per person per day, you guys. Try to get a hold of me. I got Snapchat, like I said, Mr. Heintz. I got Instagram, Grinder Heintz, HEINTZ. Facebook is stupid because I hit my friends limit of 5,000 like 3 years ago, and they don't let me fucking have anymore.
You have to
Stupid.
create a lifetime business account.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
unlimited.
and we have me and Scott Thryden, 3-time world goose calling champion. We have a site. We have a YouTube
need to
page
get
right
him
now called Lifetime Waterfall Co. You go to YouTube, put in Lifetime Waterfall Co. You can watch all my videos. He's got all his videos together. Goose Society 4 is not going to be on our YouTube page. We are starting a website that is a $2.99 fee per month, and you get to watch all our videos on there. That website's not out yet. It should be out in like next week or two. But Goose Society 4 will be
The
on
Roost,
there.
right?
The Roost. We're calling it the
great
Roost.
name.
So that's what we're going to do, because YouTube is going to get away from killing animals. You can't monetize, make your money off it and shit.
Yeah.
So you guys go to our website, check out our goose calls, lifetimewaterfowler.com. And, check out our goose calls, our hoodies, our hats. We're going to have new updated shit. All our videos are going to be on there.
The website again is what?
lifetimewaterfowlerco.com.
Co. Don't
Yeah,
forget the
Co. I'm pretty sure it's Co. I haven't typed it in for a while. But you'll find it.
Fucking Google Lifetime Waterfall
Yeah, it'll
Company.
come up.
You'll find
Yeah,
it.
come
Yeah,
up.
you'll
I'm gonna
find
get
it.
one of
Don't
your-
message
I'm
us
gonna get one of
asking
your
us what the
calls
website
Yes.
is.
before I leave
Goose
the
calls are
great
great, dude.
town
We
of
have-
Hutchinson, because Nick and I are going to do
A calling thing.
lessons.
Yeah, we're going to do
Yeah.
a calling. So I've been doing
I
like
want to do
calling.
like a basic one, and then like intermediate.
There is no.
like we should-
It's all basic. Everything is basic.
Okay, all right.
Turkey
So-
Man's calling.
Um,
Turkey.
What we're gonna do for the next episode is we're gonna do a calling lesson. So I've been doing like calling seminars for about the last 9-10 years.
Nick's
and I
really
also-
good at teaching calling. I am
Yeah.
horrible, so I will not be a part of it.
I'm good. I'm a good teacher. So we're gonna also do.
I'm gonna try to
I do
erase my.
I do private tutoring.
I'm trying to clean slate myself.
I do private tutoring for $60 an hour, and I've got a lot of guys that have come over and done private tutoring sessions with
And
me.
I've done great. I know
And they've done
personally
great.
2 of them, and they're like, yeah, Nick fucking
Listen,
taught me how to do this.
This
It's like,
idea
holy
is
shit.
great. Like people are like, holy shit.
We're gonna
60 bucks an hour.
basically-
Listen.
We're
the amount
basically
you
gonna
pay
do
for
that
decoys-
$60 lesson in a podcast
In a
episode
podcast.
for free.
Yeah, but you're gonna get. It's still going to be worth your while to hire you, Nick, even if you listen to that thing, because there's going to be things that you're going to pick up that person's doing that you can instantly correct.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. The personal
you-
one-on-one
yeah,
is
you
super
can't-
beneficial.
You can't beat that. And listen,
But
the amount
also
of
the-
money
the
that
style
people
that I
pay
do.
for camo, for decoys,
Yeah,
for
maybe.
shotgun shells.
Calling's
Dude,
the
if you're
one thing you
bitching
can't
about
buy.
An
Calling
hour
is not the
lesson
one thing you can't
one-on-one with the champion caller to really up your calling game, it's fucking worth it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that just to,
No,
because you're here. I'm legit, like, this is a good investment. If you're a hardcore waterfowler,
For $60,
you got the time,
fuck,
$60, dude,
Yeah.
to really up your calling game.
We're going to go over why you're not getting better and why YouTube videos aren't helping you.
Yeah, well,
And we're gonna go over what's real help.
Listen, the stuff that we've talked about earlier
One-on-one's
today
better than
about
YouTube
hunting
videos.
traffic fields and doing this and another thing. The reason you guys are successful is because you can call really well.
Yeah, and together we can
I
call
mean,
really
it's
well.
not the only element, obviously.
Right.
It's a huge
but
element.
it's a big
Yeah,
element.
it's very
if you
big.
Can, even if you, like you said in a past shooting context, if you can line geese up just to get them
just
to
get
come
them
over
under.
you,
Get me and Nick
do it.
under them.
And that's calling. That's
we'll get it.
calling. That's calling. That's
Yeah.
calling. So, yeah, for sure. Stay tuned and look for that episode. And then hopefully we can figure out how to video it so we can put it on YouTube. That'd be cool too. But
I got a video camera, man.
yeah, we'll
We can
figure it
do
out.
But yeah,
Figure it
this has been great, Dale. Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys.
All right,
Let's,
guys.
I knew it'd be good.
let's
It
hit the
actually
town,
wasn't
fellas.
as crazy as I thought. But
Smoke.
maybe we'll make some more stories tonight.
Right.
Nick,
Well, we
give all
got
your-
worse stories. Me and Nick just got to see if they're appropriate or not.
They're always appropriate.
Dude,
I'm
we
my
got-
own boss.
Nick's
There's
got
no-
stories that would get him fired from work.
Oh well, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. We got to go with that.
But Nick,
anyways.
give your social media stuff. Where can they find you? How do they get a hold of you?
You can
for
find me at
lessons?
Snapchat njohnson2367.
Johnson 2367.
N Johnson 2367.
Johnson
Yeah.
2367.
Snapchat, Instagram, Nick_A_Johnson. Find me on Facebook, Nick A. Johnson, and just follow me because I pretty much just post there from Instagram.
Right.
And I do a lot of cool stuff during the season, a lot of out-of-the-box hunting, a lot of out-of-the-box stuff. People ask me a lot of cool questions, and I try to respond to
I
everybody.
also still want to do like you brought in the first time I had you on, Nick, like do a Facebook Live kind of thing so people can ask. We need to set
Yeah,
that
we
up
could.
at some point in time
Yeah,
too.
we could. I don't think we'd need
And
a
then,
computer for that, not a phone, though.
And then we can. Well,
Right.
actually, it's just a laptop with a camera on it. We'll have
Yeah,
to
we can do
figure
it. We could
out.
do it at my place. I got a bubble
Yeah.
hockey table at my
Yeah,
place.
we'll figure it out, and
Let's
then we'll
go.
kind of pump it up like weeks out ahead of time so people know, like, hey, you want to ask Nick
What kind of
some
e-cig is
questions?
this? A Juul?
I was gonna say, Nick,
We're
you
gonna
sound
go
like
live at blah 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 date blah 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 time. So
you sound like the
sit
beginning
down,
of a
grab
fucking
beer.
Lil Wayne song when you're hitting that thing. All I can hear is like.
Stupid
Is
Juuls.
that just regular old nicotine, or is
Yeah,
there,
it is. It is.
wow, how
I'm going through
lame
a
is
stressful
that?
time in my life, man. You know, it's not the hunting
You got-
season.
how's the business going? It's going good.
Fuck, it's going really
You're
good.
you're
going
booking
good.
dates. So
Yeah, we are. I mean, I just
literally,
opened.
guys, if you're listening to this and you want to come out, like, call sooner than later.
I
'cause
just
there's-
opened my books today, and I got over 35 people
Yeah, this
lined
is-
up.
this-
Like, dude, I'm telling you, Fergus Falls is the best goose hunting in the world. You're warm.
So many fucking
The,
geese out there.
yeah,
It's
it's
retarded.
nuts. It's nuts. I can't. I mean, you just got to come experience it. Otherwise, you can watch it for free
That's
on
how it is.
Snapchat.
And if you
which-
guys are in the
that sucks.
Hutchinson area, let's give Bobbing Bobber a little shout for having us out here. I talked to when you guys are out there emptying your weak bladders. I talked to
Yeah,
the
you
guy
didn't
that
pee
was
one
coming
time.
out.
Damn.
Dude, I have like a horse bladder, a
That's
camel
what you
bladder.
said.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You and Joe Rogan should
And,
go ahead and
no,
have these.
I challenged Joe Rogan. You challenged Mike Waddell to
Mike
a bubble
Waddell,
hockey
bubble
tournament.
hockey, dude. $1,000 a
I
piece.
challenged Joe Rogan to a not pee off.
Did you listen to that one with Duncan Truxell?
I always listen to ones with Duncan. Duncan's the best.
Here we go.
Dude, they
That
were
battery's
so
gonna
high.
fucking
They were
die,
so
dude.
high on acid.
Duncan's the best. Duncan's just the best. I love him.
They were
so
talking
much.
about like the bubble machine, like having a professional bubble man. Oh,
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous shit. That's why I love Duncan though. I've never met him, but
It's about to
if
get
I ever
going.
if I ever met him, I'd hug him because
Right.
he's that kind of guy. He's just
Right.
that dude's cool as fuck. But here comes the high school reunion,
Yep.
so we're timing it just
Here we
right to
go.
wrap this bitch up. So
God, not
Joe,
a hot
Nick,
chick in
thanks
the
guys
whole
for
bunch.
doing this. We'll do it again. We got a lot of things to do, and
Yep.
fuck yeah, I'm looking for it. I know
Yeah.
it's like summer fishing pattern season, but my mind,
Fuck fishing.
honestly, right now,
dude.
my
Everything's
mind
so
just
sharp.
goes to honker hunting. So
jet
much
ski and
right now.
intercourse
I'm
season.
sorry. And on that, we will talk to you later.
I'm out of here.
But